This is BBC 7.
Well, if you're scared of flying, the next 90 minutes are going to do nothing to allay those fears. And you can thank James Follett for that. Anything that can possibly go wrong, goes wrong for Flight 510.
Listening to station WNYA, time 8 p.m. Still no sign of an end to the JFK fuel operative strike. Union boss Jim Ryan is now threatening Transair flights unless Mayor Cohen intervenes. But it now seems certain that Percy Mansion won't be drawn into the arena. Air temperature 47 and steady. It's a cold November night in New York, with Queens and Brooklyn getting their first snow flurry. So here's old Blue Eyes to warm us up.
Strangers in the night,
Yes, mate.
heading monsters, wandering in the night. What will it come to?
Okay, I'm coming.
For the night.
Everett?
Captain Everett, this is the hotel switchboard. I have a call for you from Kennedy Airport.
Hold it, I'm dripping.
Captain, this is operations.
Look, hold on a second, just got the shower. Yes?
Are you ready for your flight plan details, Captain?
I'm trying to do three things at once here. Pencil. Ah. Okay, I've got one. Right, go ahead.
Surprisingly, you've got a headwind component, so you've got a long flight time. Flight level 330 to Gander, and then climbing to 370 for your oceanic crossing on track Victor. And then the usual airways routing. En route weather, not too good, Captain. Moderate to severe clear air turbulence for the first half of your oceanic, and a large area of thunderstorm cells from about 30 west.
Charming.
Terminal weather is not too good either. London, Heathrow, Gatwick and Manchester are all going in for a probability of thunderstorms with associated heavy rain. Winds gusting up to 35 knots. Prestwick's not much better either.
Thanks a million.
Pardon, Captain?
Oh, nothing. What level are the tops of these thunderstorms at?
35,000.
Great.
You'll be above them if you get your oceanic clearance for flight level 370.
And what are my chances of that?
Well, I wouldn't like to place bets, Captain. Newark, Washington and Boston are all pushing out extra traffic for the London Trade Fair.
Oh, thanks.
Still, it looks like a profitable flight from Transatlantic Airlines' point of view. You've got a fairly full load. In fact, you are full. 352 passengers, 4,500 kilos of freight.
Oh, goody.
Well, it eases the monotony, Captain. Oh, yes, there is something else. We've still got a fuel delivery problem with this strike. You heard the news?
Yeah, there was something on the radio just now, but I missed it. I was in the shower. There seems to be lots of atmospheric disturbance about.
I think that's local. I'll check it out. The problem is, Captain, that you're going to have to uplift JP4.
Oh, hell.
I'm sorry, Captain. There's no JP1 fuel being pumped into Kennedy.
Look,
Wide-cut gasoline is all we can get our hands on. Still, there is one consolation. A share out of what JP4 there is has been agreed on between all the airlines for tonight's flight, so you won't be getting much of the stuff.
how much?
Flight plan fuel, 68,000 kilos.
Oh, for God's sake.
68 tons is over flight plan. You're fine for London with Manchester as your alternative.
Now, look. If I'm going to have to feel my way along the curb among the thunderstorms on my track Victor, and have to contend with them on arrival, I would like at least another 30 or 40 minutes holding fuel.
Sorry, Captain, but it's flight plan fuel or nothing.
Okay. Now tell me the good news.
I'm sorry?
Well, surely you have some good news after all that. Severe, clear air turbulence, thunderstorms, and JP4 in my tanks. It is only a few squirts.
Were you expecting good news, Captain?
Oh, forget it. I'll see you in the operations office.
Mary, will you please stop fussing?
The air tickets, Ted. Are you sure you transferred them to that suit?
Well, sure I'm sure.
Well, show me, otherwise I'll worry.
Look, honey, passports, tickets, travel checks, hotel reservation, £100 in English money.
Oh, let me look at the money, Ted.
Well, what is this? Don't you believe me?
Oh, I'd just like to see what it looks like now.
Well, there it is, all in different colors.
Ah, they don't have 10-shilling notes anymore.
You Didn't have to wait all this time for a trip home, honey.
Oh, I didn't want to go without you. And you were always too busy. Anyway, I stopped thinking of it as home years ago.
Hey, what do you suppose English girls go for now instead of nylons?
Well, I'll tell you one thing they don't go for. Something you've got now that you didn't have then.
Money?
Middle-aged spread, my sweet.
Why, you little minx, come here. It's going to cost you.
Oh, no, Ted, stop it.
Getting old, am I?
I didn't say that. Oh, Ted, put me down, you idiot. Joanna and Trevor will be here any minute.
You're not so light yourself.
Look, Ted, Joanna
Think
and
I might shake the English reserve?
They're not reserved.
Nor am I. Excited?
For the 1000th time, yes. Oh, that's them. Now stop assing about and put me down.
Apologize.
They'll hear us.
Open it.
Not like this, Ted. We must look ridiculous.
Go on, you can reach the latch.
Oh.
Good evening, Miss... Oh. Are we interrupting something, Mr. Jackson?
No, come in. Good evening, Joanna.
Good evening, Mr. Jackson.
Hello, Joanna, Trevor. All right, Ted. You've proved your point. Now put me down.
Just proving something to Mary. Come in, you two.
Thank you. It's yourself, more like.
Does he make a habit of that, Mrs. Jackson?
Thank God, no.
If you did, Mr. Jackson, I'd have to think about increasing your life insurance to protect your UK division.
You'll be the one who need increased insurance if you didn't bring those exposition plans.
Oh, you're not going to talk shop on the flight.
7 hours is not to be wasted, Mary.
I've got everything. The plans, copies of the Ministry of Defence contracts for the Hotspur guidance system for your approval, and growth forecasts for the next 3 years.
Don't worry, Mrs. Jackson. We'll plan your assault on Oxford Street and Bond Street.
Well, if you people are ready, I'll give you a hand with your cases. We've got a taxi waiting.
I tried to tell her if you're planning on buying a lot of clothes in London...
I can't really believe I'm going back.
But Trevor said you hadn't been home since you were married.
1947. I was a GI bride. Married the same week as Princess Elizabeth.
Didn't you get terribly homesick? I've only been here a week and I can't wait to get back.
I was ill with it the first year.
Come on, you two. This is the era of women's lip. Grab a valise each.
Excuse me, miss.
Just a minute, Captain. No, Mr. Pullen, your trunk definitely has not arrived from Grand Central. The bellhop will bring it up to your room as soon as it shows up. You're welcome, sir.
What have you done with my crew?
Oh, yes. They checked out before their wake-up call. Your flight engineer wanted to do some last-minute shopping. They said they'd be back in time for the airport pickup.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Captain. Have a pleasant flight home.
Hello, Skipper. Getting worried about us? It's all Taft's fault.
Hey, look at that, Captain. 2 Batman suits for the twins. $15 each.
Well, I shall keep them on the flight deck for this trip. They might come in handy.
Why's that?
Flight plan fuel with register diversion, track Victor, moderate to severe clear air turbulence, a headwind and thunderstorms en route and arrival, and we're uplifting JP4. Try repeating it without smiling.
I'd better cable my wife.
The strike?
Yes, that's it. One big fuel share out.
It's what I've suspected all along. Someone in operations hates us.
I've considered having an attack of amnesia at the airport and going home on a British Airways flight as a passenger.
How much fuel?
68 tons.
Well, that's okay.
Oh, there's the airport coach.
I know it's silly, but I suddenly feel nervous.
Now, what the hell are you worried about now? You've flown all over the States last
But
year.
never over an ocean, Ted.
I know how you feel, Mrs. Jackson.
You're crazy. What's the difference between flying over land and over the sea?
But the Atlantic is so wide. That Liverpool boat took us 10 days to get here.
A crummy troop ship. It broke down about 6 times.
And what happens if an aeroplane breaks down?
Oh, I've made the crossing 20 times now, Mrs. Jackson. You'll find those Transair Orion Jumbos are the most comfortable aircraft you've ever been in. We'll be upstairs in the first class section, with a spacious lounge and a bar behind the flight deck where you can stretch your legs.
Thank you, Trevor.
It's a pleasure, Mrs. Jackson.
Oh, I wish you'd call me Mary. Both of you.
Well, if Mr. Jackson doesn't mind.
Anything to keep her happy.
We've just passed 23rd Street.
The cabin crew are now being accommodated at the Park Century. It saves Transair 50 cents a night per head. Yes, that sleazy dump on the right.
Hey, look who we've got.
Who? Oh, yes, the tall blonde.
This year's Miss Transair.
Don't get excited, Taft. We used to have her in the European division. She's a one-woman ice age.
Yes, I know the type. Reserved for skippers. You two don't sound unearthly with me around.
Oh, get him. Good evening, Charlie boy. So they finally made you up to the lofty rank of cabin service officer.
I applied over a year ago, Mr. Harmon. Evening, Captain.
Fitting reward, Charlie, for all those boring hours you spent watching stewardesses burning their knickers on escape chute practice.
Flight attendants, we're supposed to call them now. The Equal Opportunities Commission.
I'm not having any committee lecturing me on bird identification. No, if she's wearing a blue skirt, or better still, not wearing it, then she is a stewardess. Is she married?
Who, Captain?
Miss Transair, whatever her name is.
Oh, no, Captain, but I once saw her smile at a British Airways skipper.
Oh, we can't have that. No, they can find their own.
It was a very lukewarm smile.
Yes, I shall go and speak to her about it. Dazzle her with my charm.
50p you get nowhere, skipper.
You haven't got 50p.
You haven't got charm, so who's arguing?
Good evening.
Good evening, Captain.
I don't believe we've flown together before.
We haven't.
I saw your photo in the staff magazine a few weeks ago and you were made Miss Transair.
Really? That's a coincidence. I remember seeing yours a few years ago when you were married.
Well, I was a late starter. We're separated now.
By 3,000 miles of ocean?
By her solicitor and my solicitor. Yes. My first name is Stephen. I didn't catch yours.
I didn't drop it.
I'd like to know something about my cabin crew.
Very well. I'm 27, hazel eyes, 5'10". My hobbies are pony trekking and skin diving. And if you'd read the rest of the print under my picture, you would have seen that I never mix my social life with my job.
Your flight briefing sheets, Captain.
Thank you. Anyway, I don't care if she's the chairman's mistress. That's not the way to talk to a skipper.
50p.
What? Oh, well, I've only got a fiver. I'll owe it to you. What's this? The runway 28 right vases at London, the US. See, what that girl doesn't realise is that a skipper isn't exactly that influence. I mean, her future could be in my hands.
I suppose she'll let you get them on anything else.
Did you say something, Jeff?
Look, you give me the fiver, and I'll owe you the £4.50.
Those localisers are still out at Manchester. What the hell are they pouncing about at there?
Well, if I'm not wanted, I'll go and start my checks.
And I'm off to the lounge for a coffee and 10-minute sulk. Oh, try and get the aircraft's present position right when you load the inertials, Pat.
Oh, cheek.
What's up with him?
His bashful boy routine just came unstuck in an encounter with a stewardess.
Let me guess. The one from the European division, Miss Elaine Parsons?
That's the one.
I've heard, gentlemen, but don't quote me, that she's saving herself for the first Concorde skipper that even glances at her.
In that case, our Stevie Wonder's in with a chance.
How's that?
Oh, haven't you heard? He's bought himself a rabbit's foot and bid for the Concorde Transair have ordered.
Steve Everett, you gotta be kidding.
Straight. Him and 20 other skippers, senior to him.
Cabin pre-taxi check complete, Charlie. All galley and cabin service equipment secured, toilet doors closed, door areas clear. All passengers secure.
First class cabin pre-taxi check completed, all passengers secure.
Okay, thank you, ladies.
We're getting behind. Clearance delivery, Jeff.
Kennedy clearance delivery. This is Transair 510, IFR to London with information Tango.
Roger, Transair. This is Kennedy clearance. Kennedy clears Transair 510, Sardi 1 with Hampton transition. Information Tango, squawk 2200, departure frequency 121.1.
Roger, Kennedy clearance. Transair 510 is cleared to London on a Sardi 1 departure with a Hampton transition. Squawk 2200, departure frequency 121.1. Clearance delivery obtained, skipper. Control surfaces and spoilers.
Control surfaces and spoilers checked.
Inertials. Waypoints inserted and checked and nav mode selected. Brakes. Both checked. Normal selected.
All secured aft, Captain.
Chocks and ground equipment.
Chocks and ground equipment away.
OK, ground. Chocks away on the hour on schedule.
Steward's report received.
OK, ground. We're now ready for a pushback.
Thank you, Captain. I'll show you the ground lock on the port side. Have a good trip.
Isn't that the Grenadier who likes to shove us backwards at Mark 1?
We're moving, Ted.
You're going home, Mary?
No, I'm leaving home.
Where the hell did they find that ground engineer? Oh, if that's the ground lock, Sonny, hold your torch on it so we can all see it. Good lad. OK, Jeff, we're on our own. Taxi clearance, please.
Kennedy Ground, this is Transair 510 requesting taxi.
Roger, Transair 510. This is Kennedy Ground Control. You're clear to the holding point at 31 left.
Clear on the right, Skipper.
Clear left. I'm going off radio, Jeff, to talk to the customers. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Captain Everett. We're now making our way down to the holding point and will be taking off shortly. We're making a left-hand turn immediately after takeoff and flying up the coast towards Boston. Those of you on the left will have a good view of the lights of Long Island, and those on the right will have a glimpse of Manhattan.
68%, please, staff. Flaps, slats.
Flaps, slats selected to take off 20 degrees.
Engine reversers.
Engine reversers checked. Lights out. Radios. Radios tuned.
Radios tuned and identified. Kennedy VOR number 2 selected and identified. 252 radial in the window. Kennedy Tower, this is Transair 510 requesting takeoff.
Transair 510 monitor tower.
Right.
Roger, Transair 510. This is Kennedy Tower. You're cleared for takeoff.
Miss, could we have some more coffee here, please?
Yes, sir, I'm fetching some more.
Oh, well, that was a better meal than last week.
We'll have one evening in London when I'll take you all out of the best restaurant.
Thank you, Ted.
Bring that works manager you've hired, Trevor, and his wife.
Coffee, sir.
Ah, thank you.
Oh, darling. Oh, I'm terribly sorry, sir. I'll get a cloth.
No, it's okay. This'll do.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry. If you let me have your jacket and tie...
Don't worry, it wasn't your fault.
Oh, my dress!
Seems we're hitting a few pockets.
Look, I'm sorry. I'll go and get something.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
An accident?
Coffee all over 2 in row 6.
Oh, they were a bit vicious.
Oops! Oh, I was praying for a smooth trip. It's the wrong time for me. A few more bumps like that and you'll hear the rattling noise from all the aspirins I've taken.
I'm sorry to trouble you, ladies and gentlemen, but in view of this continuing turbulence, it would be advisable if you remained
he's
in
put
your
the
seats
cabin
for the time
signs
being
up.
and kept
More
your
work
seatbelts
for us.
fastened.
Oh, girls, I'm managing.
We just about got dinner cleared away, Charlie.
I know, love. You should see what it's like below in the economy class. A shambles. Absolute shambles. Sorry to trouble you, Captain, but I was wondering how much longer this is going on for. I still haven't started the film.
Don't let us stop you, Charlie.
Well, it's no good me starting these old Mark 1 projectors with all this banging about. They'll only jam, and I'll break my neck trying to rethread them. Sir. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Sounds like a disaster in the bar.
You know, I think he holds me personally responsible for this weather.
There. Are you sure that'll be all right now?
Yes, it's fine. Don't worry, it wasn't your fault. Will it be like this all the way across?
Oh, I hope not. Well, if you're sure it's all
Yes,
right.
it's fine. Thank you.
Gander, this is Transair 510 requesting oceanic clearance for Belfast on track Victor. Flight level 370, Mark 82.
Roger, Transair 510. This is Gander. Gander clears Transair 510 to Belfast on track Victor. Flight level 330, Mark 8.
330, Taff. With all these thunderstorm cells lying in wait.
Roger, Gander. Transair 510 is cleared over St Anthony to Belfast. Track Victor is 330, Mark 82. Track Victor reads St Anthony 53 north, 50 west, 54 north, 40 west, 55 north, 30 west, 55 north, 20 west, 55 north, 10 west, Belfast.
Could we have our meal trays now, please?
Certainly, Captain.
Roger, Transair 510. Return to domestic frequency.
most of it. Look.
Eventually, you'll learn the uselessness of trying to please flight deck crews.
Oh, has Charlie abandoned the film?
Yes, those stupid projectors.
Trevor? I can't sleep because of this buffeting.
Try.
It's easing up a bit. Is it often like this?
What's the time? We're about halfway across now. Clear air turbulence never lasts all the way, but this lot has gone on longer than usual.
God, what a long slog. I'm beginning to understand the reasoning behind Concord.
There you are. It's calmed down a bit. You see it doesn't last.
Sorry to trouble you again, Captain, but what are the chances of this lasting? I was hoping to start the film, otherwise they'll be wanting their money back.
Bit late, isn't it?
Well, we've taken the best part of 600 quid for headsets, and most of the passengers are awake.
We'll be into some queuing in 30 minutes. I'll keep the cabin signs on.
Ah, thank you, Captain.
I'm not doing it for you, old son. We have to thread our way through that little lot. Look at the weather radar.
Solid. Absolutely solid.
Some coffee, Charlie, before we're into it.
The Captain would like some coffee, please, ladies.
Oh, is the buffeting over for good now, Charlie?
Oh, I imagine so.
Then we're resuming cabin services?
No. Not just yet.
Roger, Transair 510. Your request for flight level 370, negative.
Roger, Gander. This is Transair 510, maintaining flight level 330.
Let's hope Shanwick are more obliging.
Yeah, if we're able to call them through this interference is getting worse. We've got no HF communication.
Your coffee, gentlemen. Oh, my God.
What's the matter?
I just saw sparks jumping off the windscreen wipers.
St. Elmo's fire. We're running into an area of thunderstorms.
Isn't it dangerous?
Oh, that's nothing. You come up in 30 minutes, and then we'll show you something that'll really make a hair stand on end.
Oh, no.
I'd rather tell her that the windows may have turned blue by then. No sense of humour, these girls.
Have a listen on radio, Skipper. My eardrum's being blown out. Must be building up around every antenna.
Captain, I'm getting some weird readings on the engine vibration meters for number 4. I thought it might be a harmonic set up by the pounding the wings were taking just now, but the meters are starting to creep up. It might be an idea to run a...
I felt that.
What the hell was that, Taff? Fire action, number 4 engine.
Fire action,
number 4 engine.
Number 4 engine, HP fuel cock. Shut.
Number 4 engine, fire control handle pulled.
Number 4 engine, low pressure fuel cock checked. Shut.
Stopwatch started. First shot. Fired.
LP cock switch. Shut. HP fuel valves, both shut on affected side. Hydraulic shut-off cock, shut.
10 seconds.
Immediate action completed and checked, Captain.
Fire warning lights still on.
Captain, the aft cabin is
Hold it, Charlie, hold it.
Sorry, sir.
20 seconds.
Doesn't look as if it's going to work.
25. 26. 27. 28.
Fire second shot.
29. 30. Number 4 handle turned anti-clockwise. Second shot fired.
Warning light out. Reset and test fire warning system. Yes, Charlie?
SSB.
What happened, Captain?
We had to douse a fire in number 4.
Oh? Oh, that's what the passenger must have seen. The aft cabin steward has reported that some passengers are saying they saw a sudden sheet of flame from the right-hand outer engine.
A secondary fire action drill completed from checklist, Captain.
What do you suppose it was?
A fan disc broke up, I expect.
Don't look so worried, Charlie. We can soldier on quite happily on 3.
Aren't we turning back, sir?
No, we've passed our critical point, old son. Taff, it doesn't feel as if there's any abnormal drag, but you better go right aft into the tourist cabin for a visual. See if anything's hanging off that might cause problems.
Okay, Captain.
Oh, and pass the word to Gander, Jeff. Looks like we're going to have to deviate left of track to avoid that lot.
Sorry, Skipper. Still can't talk to anyone with all this St. Elmo's fire.
Have you noticed that the engines sound quieter?
We thought you were asleep. Mr. Jackson's well away. It's probably a slight change in pressure that's affecting your ears. Hold your nose and blow.
No, they're definitely quieter than they were.
Oh, God, it's starting to get bumpy again.
Shall I open my blind?
You won't see anything.
Look! Lightning!
Look at it, Trevor. We must be in the middle of a thunderstorm.
Now, don't be silly, Joanna. They're flying around it. That's why the aircraft keeps backing.
Well, what's happening, eh?
Look at the lightning, Ted. Isn't it fantastic? You can see the clouds lighting up from inside.
You've woken me up to look at lightning.
You woke yourself with your disgusting snoring.
I never snore.
It's funny being so near to a thunderstorm and not being able to hear it. Have you ever seen it as bad as that before, Trevor?
No.
But doesn't lightning mess up their radio?
That's what I was thinking.
It was a fan disc, all right. It must have blasted turbine blades all over the place. There's no sign of the thrust cone and reversers, and I got a look at the front. The air door inlets are in shreds. Anyway, there's nothing hanging off the engine.
300,000 for a new engine. Oh, bang goes our profit-sharing bonus. Any luck, Jeff?
Nothing, just blasted crackling, Skipper. HF and VHF bands all completely blotted. Ha! Maybe we can persuade Robertson to stop a new engine out of Taft's pay.
Captain, we seem to be getting through our fuel much faster than we should. Did anyone look at the fuel gauges while I was gone?
Swallow it all down.
Oh, thank you.
Give it 10 minutes. It always works for me.
Oh, I never thought it could ever be like this.
If it's any consolation, this is the worst trip I've known since I started flying.
This is only my 5th flight. I'm seriously considering making it my last.
But you must have seen something, Taff. You must have been streaming off the wings to have lost that amount.
It was some minutes after the engine breakup that I went aft. If the jettison chutes can dump 10 tons in 5 minutes, riddled wing tanks could easily lose that in half the time.
How much flying time have we?
Well, the totalizer shows...
I said flying time. You're going to have to make some very fast and very accurate calculations.
I can tell you now, about 70 minutes, but I'll have to double-check.
According to the flight guide, our nearest ocean station vessel is the Arctic Vigil weather ship, 400 miles to the north.
And we're 700 miles from Shannon.
60 minutes fuel, Captain.
Thank you, Taff. I suppose that removes the burden of having to make a decision. We ditch by the Arctic Vigil. Distress calls on all frequencies, Jeff. 121.5, 2182, 8364, and domestic.
It's all right. They're both asleep.
It was VE night. Piccadilly was crammed. I lost my boyfriend and my left shoe in that order. It was murder. People were singing and dancing and going completely wild. God knows how many times I was grabbed and kissed by strangers. And then this American sergeant noticed I'd lost a shoe.
So Mr. Jackson wasn't an officer?
Ted? Oh, no. And he'd only been made a sergeant the week before.
Oh, my God, what's happened?
What the hell was that?
The wingtip's on fire! Look! On fire!
Oh, Trevor! Stewardess! Trevor, get one of the stewardesses!
It's no good, everyone trying to call the stewardesses. Sit down, Trevor, and you, Ted.
Why the hell do we have to fly with this crummy outfit? We're gonna crash.
Mary's right, sit down!
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please remain in your seats? There is no cause for alarm. Captain Everett has everything under control. Please go back to your seats and fasten your seatbelts.
Where are they?
There you are. The fire's going out.
Our outer surge tanks are on
Warning
fire. We
lights
have
out,
insufficient
Captain.
fuel to reach Shannon. This is Transair flight... Oh, blast. This is useless, Skipper.
That bloody JP4. You can come off radio, Jeff. Now, let's concentrate on getting down in one piece. What about this aileron, Taff? I can't hold her straight even with rudder.
And no pressure on all systems. I've got the figures for you. If we go down at 50%...
Yes, Captain. We're going to ditch in 25 minutes, Charlie. Brief your staff and get the passengers ready. Interphone is set for ditching. Report as soon as you're ready.
Yes, Captain. You're all absolutely clear about your duties.
Yes,
Good, good. Watch carefully for those able-bodied passengers who remain calm when the captain makes his announcement. and get them to help with the life rafts and to assist the elderly into their life jackets. Understood?
Yes, Charlie.
They're just like doctors. They won't tell you what's the matter.
I'm certain we're losing height.
Where the hell are the stewardesses? Miss! Miss, we want to know what's going on here.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I have your complete attention, please? This is an emergency announcement.
What?
We shall soon be forced to make an emergency landing.
Oh, my God.
Please remove ties, collars, remove dentures, contact lenses, glasses, and high-heeled shoes. Put your chair back in the upright position and stow your table. Your life jacket is under your seat.
Where?
Put it on, but do not inflate it until you are outside the aircraft.
I don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
Take your teeth out, Ted.
How are you supposed to wear this thing?
Trevor, I haven't got one. It slipped down on my side, honey.
Do you all have a cushion each?
I can't get it on, miss.
Oh, just a minute, please, sir. Do you all have a cushion each?
Yes, thank you, miss.
How the hell am I to tie this behind my back?
Oh, no, sir, don't pull that. You were told not to inflate your life jacket.
Oh, hell.
I'm sorry.
Would you like me to help while you give out the cushions?
Oh, would you? Make sure that they're tied properly and that they don't pull that red knob.
Right.
Thank you. Sir, would you help with the life raft?
Sure, what do I do?
Well, I'll be back in a minute. Do you all have a cushion each?
Are there any life?
No, madam, the tabs must be passed around you. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Captain Everett, ladies and gentlemen, we have full control of the aircraft and will be making a controlled landing in 20 minutes. We have plenty of life rafts, and we broadcast our position to rescue services. Please, follow the instructions of the cabin crew at all times, and please study your safety instruction card.
What card?
Passengers who do not have a cushion, please hold up one hand.
Why all this fuss about cushions? Where are these life rafts?
Thank you.
Just read your card, Mr. Jackson.
Hey, Mary, what the hell are you playing at down there?
I'm helping these people. Now be quiet. And take your teeth out.
Attention, everyone. When the cabin signs are flashed and you hear the command, place, place the cushion on your lap and take up the placing position as shown on your safety instruction card.
I haven't got a card.
When the aircraft is stopped, unfasten your seat belts and leave quickly by the nearest exit. Leave your hand baggage.
Can't do that.
And remember not to inflate your life jacket until you are outside the aircraft.
I can't even face it.
And you, Jeff, will call take-up ditching positions over the PA at 1,000 feet, and then call brace at 200 feet and flash the cabin signs at the same time. Landing lights on from 2,000 feet for landing parallel with the main swell. Landing configuration will be gear up, of course, full flaps, 150 feet permanent rate of descent from 1,000 feet. I'll keep the passengers fully informed at all times and keep the wings parallel with the water, not the horizon. I'll rotate to nose up 5 degrees and close throttles immediately on contact with the water.
Understood.
One suggestion, Captain.
Yes?
That we scrub round the fuel jettison. We're in static. It's virtually petrol, that JP4, and we're nearly down to unusable fuel anyway.
Okay, fuel jettison deleted from checklist. All right, lads, start top of descent check.
Very clever. I often wondered what was behind these roof panels.
Just pull that red toggle on the lanyard and the entire life raft pack will lower itself onto the floor.
Okay.
Is that it? No, just steady it.
Can I give you a hand, miss?
No, it's all right, sir. Thank you. We can manage. Please remain in your seat.
Oh, very well.
We'll carry it to that overwing hatch there.
It doesn't look as if it could hold 26 people.
You'd be surprised at their size when they're inflated.
It's all academic, really.
What is? I'll show you how to attach the inflation lines.
All this? I mean, you can never practice a real ditching, can you? We could all be dead in half an hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now approaching 10,000 feet when we shall depressurize the aircraft. Try swallowing if you experience any discomfort in your ears. Oxygen is not necessary at this height, so the masks will not appear.
10,000.
Right, depressurize, Taff.
Depressurizing. Preparation for ditching check completed.
All first-class galley switches off. Emergency water containers filled. Loose equipment stowed in toilets.
9,000 feet.
All first-class life raft in position. Survival packs removed.
Flaps, slats.
Flaps, slats selected to take off 20 degrees.
First-class cabin survival beacons and first aid kits collected and secured.
Aft cabin.
All passengers secure. Cabin preparation complete.
Forward galley.
Everything stowed, Charlie. All services off.
Steward's report.
Cabin preparation complete, Captain.
We've just passed 5,000 feet, ladies and gentlemen, and everything is going smoothly.
Hold my hand, Ted.
Sure, honey.
You haven't taken your teeth out.
Approach check completed, Captain.
Looks like these bloody storms go all the way down.
Soon find out, old son.
Trevor!
All cabin crew to ditching stations.
Something to tell your grandchildren.
It's your kindness that I'll always remember.
Don't say anything.
Landing lamps.
Landing lamps on. Bloody hell. Hey, what's the matter with the radar?
Hell, look at that water.
Yes, I've looked. Worrying about the radar takes my mind off it.
1,500 feet. Cabin fully depressurized and resealed for buoyancy. Ditching check complete.
1,000 feet, Jeff.
This is the first officer. Take up ditching positions.
Oh, my God.
Level, Jeff. Level, that's it.
180 knots.
Parallel with the swell. Now hold it there.
4 seconds between the crests.
150.
6 seconds between crests. We'll time them across the lights when we're lower.
500 feet.
140 knots.
3, 4, 5.
Brace! Brace!
Right down, Ted. Get your head right into the cushion.
5 seconds, Jeff. Start rolling. Port down. 2, 3. Level, level. Starboard down. 2, 3. Keep it like that, Jeff. You're in perfect phase.
God, what the hell are they doing?
Trying to keep the wings parallel to the waves. Now shut up.
100 feet.
You're out of phase. No, no, no. Come on, level.
They aren't regular.
Start again. That's it.
Why don't they get it over with?
That's fine. Now keep it like that.
Can't. I'm getting out of phase.
Next crest. Steady. Steady. Closing throttles.
HP cocks shut. Hey, look at that. The impact must have torn the engines off.
Charlie!
Yes, Captain.
We've lost the engines, which might give you extra time. But don't use the aft doors for evacuation. She's settling by the tail.
You could, sir, because it makes it easier for everyone to get through.
I'm not going to stay
Will
here.
you please sit down and be quiet?
Leave it, Ted. There won't be room in the raft.
We need those documents, Mary.
I said leave it.
We can't launch the life raft if you crowd round the exits. Please sit down.
It's going to sink. It's going to sink.
Do not inflate your life jackets until you are outside the aircraft.
Would you all please sit down? Not on the life raft, in your seats.
Is this a raft?
Yes, sir, that's a life raft pack.
Will you all sit down and be quiet? You are in no immediate danger, but you will be unless you behave in an orderly fashion.
That's right, sir.
There are lights out on the wings. They're getting them out below. Why aren't we getting out?
It's more difficult clearing the first-class cabin because we're higher. Now, will you please sit down? All of you.
No! Please, I'm not ready.
Please come away from the exit. The stewardess can't launch the raft if you don't give her room.
Come on, Charlie.
Will you sit in your
Fine,
seat?
Captain. I came up because it sounded below like you needed more help.
Oh, we'll manage.
Sit
You want to get below again?
Come on, get the kids out of
You
here.
told them to inflate your life jackets till you're outside the aircraft.
Have you seen my galley stewardess, Captain, Miss Caroline Moore?
No. Has she launched her raft?
Yes, but I don't know
Oh,
what she is.
give her a hand with this one. Look, you hold the lanyard. You ready?
First class.
When you're ready, Captain, I'll count the rows out a few at a time.
Okay, I've got you. Onto the wing now. No, you won't. It's only a couple of feet. You can jump that. That's it.
We're loading raft 9 now, Mr. Davis. Do you need the spotlight on you?
Just for a minute, Charlie. Thanks. All right, now sit down and wriggle forward on your bottom. Never mind your dress.
Can't I stay on the wing? I want to stay on the wing.
Grab her, Charlie.
Where's Trevor? I want Trevor.
Now, come on, love. Just let yourself slide forward so I get up into the raft. Nice and warm inside. Just like little igloos.
Trevor, where is he?
You're holding up the others. Now get into the raft before I kick you in.
Captain, your raft number and number aboard.
Raft 10, Charlie, with 12 aboard. I can take on more if anyone's overloaded.
Miss Parsons, your raft number and number aboard.
Raft 15, 19 aboard. Have you seen Caroline Moore?
Can I help?
Don't worry him now.
Yes, you can, madam. Count the numbers on these lists. My totals are at the top. But see what you make of them. Be careful with them. They're a bit soggy.
Right. Is Caroline Moore in your raft, Charlie?
No.
Well, can I check for myself?
But is your raft attached?
No,
Well, make it faster. This one, for God's sake, woman, haven't you any sense?
370.
Will you double check?
I did, yes. And your figures. You made it the same.
What's the total, Charlie?
370. It should be 371. 352 passengers, 3 flight deck, and 16 cabin crew. We'll have to get each raft to read town.
No, we'll have a proper roll call. We'll pull all the rafts into a tight circle, and you call out the names.
Steward, Michael Littleton.
Here, commanding raft 5.
Stewardess, Caroline Moore. Stewardess, Caroline Moore. Caroline Moore, please answer your name.
First-class galley stewardess.
A little brunette.
Elaine Parsons is worried about her.
Caroline Moore, missing, Captain.
Captain, can we have a light over here, please? Raft 15.
What's the matter?
Stewardess commanding our raft just climbed onto the wing. Tall, blonde girl.
Elaine Parsons is in 15.
Stupid bitch has gone back into the cabin. Charlie, give me the spotlight.
Right, sir.
That's got it. Miss Parsons! You're to return to your raft immediately! Miss Parsons!
Do you want me to go after her, Skipper?
No, I better do it. You'll be too polite. Miss Parsons!
I'm up here, Captain.
You are supposed to be commanding a raft.
Then they'll just have to manage without me. I set the survival beacons and I made sure the passengers were all right.
Have any idea what might have happened to her?
This door was her station.
Where the panic was.
She'd got the door open. I remember her yelling at the passengers to get back. The stupid bastards, they must have pushed her into the water.
We don't know that for certain.
Oh, it's obvious, isn't it? Why didn't we have any help up here?
Well, everyone went to their stations as per the drill laid down in the manual.
You could have overruled the bloody manual. Charlie came up, you could have got him to help.
Charlie had 300 passengers in economy class to worry about. Oh, come on, before this lot sinks under us.
Well, it doesn't look as if it's going to.
Any luck, Skipper?
All we want now is Taff on board. We might even try a takeoff.
No sign of her?
No.
Well, I've organised a rotor for the beacon so they're not all on together. Save the batteries.
Well, they last 48 hours. We'll be picked up long before they're exhausted.
Just being on the safe side. Still a lot of lightning around the horizon, so it's possible the beacons won't be heard till it's cleared up.
But you gave our position before we came down. Didn't you? You said over the PA that search and rescue had been notified.
I said we had broadcast our position. But it's certain we weren't heard.
Oh.
Well, our HF and VHF was completely obliterated by the electrical atmospherics in the QNIMs. No, Shamwick have probably been having communication problems with all traffic. And it's just possible that they won't raise the alarm for another hour.
Well, even so. It still won't take that long before we're found. SAI aircraft have only got to fly along our route.
We are a long way north of track.
Why?
Well, we deviated slightly north to avoid some selves. And then the fan on number 4 engine broke up and ruptured our tanks. And that left us without fuel for Shannon. So we turned north for a ditching near the Arctic Vigil Ocean Station vessel.
And that's when the wing fire started?
Just gas in the tanks. And they were vented to atmosphere. It was inevitable, I suppose. The point is that we're far enough off track to add another 500,000 square miles of the area that SAR aircraft will have to sweep before they find us.
Shouldn't it be light now?
What are you doing, Ted?
Now, how do you unzip this? I want to take a look outside.
Leave it, Mr. Jackson, otherwise we'll lose heat.
I've been seasick for 2 hours. I need some air. Look at that, will you? Thick, thick fog.
Does anyone require more blankets?
Oh, could I have another one, please?
One here, please, Captain.
Everyone okay?
Fine, Captain. We've had some seasickness cases, but Everyone's bearing up well.
Shouldn't we have been picked up by now?
Sometime today, Mr. Jackson.
Captain, what are the chances of running the galley burners from the battery so I could make hot drinks?
No.
Why not?
Because I say so.
I could at least try.
All right then, Miss Parsons. We'll go aboard and have a look, shall we? I think we'd better get one thing straight. You will not argue with me in front of passengers.
I was thinking of their well-being, Captain. You may not have an aircraft now, but I've still got passengers.
You mightn't have a job when this is over.
I don't know what your priorities are, Captain, but mine are the passengers.
In that case, you can move in here and help us to run things.
What?
Several passengers and other rafts have been taken ill. Now, Taff is at the moment checking the freight hold to see if this thing will stay afloat. And if it's safe, we're going to move them in here. So we shall need the batteries to run the lighting. Understand?
I'm sorry.
Just so long as we understand each other.
Still nothing. I had the aerial poking out of the window.
What are you doing with the portable radio?
Listen. It's like that across all wave bands. Nothing but noise. And something's messing up the radar.
And what about the aircraft's radio?
Just the same. We've got 10 survival beacons attached to the rafts, all squawking their heads off on 243 megahertz, and I can just about pick them up at 20 yards.
It doesn't make sense. No electrical storm would cause that kind of interference unless we're right in the middle of one, which we're not.
The only thing I can think of, and even that doesn't make sense, is that someone's operating an extremely powerful wideband jammer within a few miles of us. If the DF was working, we'd know for certain.
Why haven't we had an aircraft?
Oh, give them time.
Oh, God, it's cold.
Yeah, it's a fog. It's best if you close the cover.
Odd how the swell has virtually gone. OK, Taff. We'll start moving the sick into the aircraft. We'll keep them near the exits and have the 2 spare rafts standing by at all times.
Hey, did you hear that?
Sounded like engines.
Flares! Where's the flare?
Wait a minute. Shh. Jeff, did you hear that noise?
Definitely diesels.
Fire a flare, Taff.
Right.
Will everyone please keep quiet?
Or whatever it was, it's gone.
Oh, no.
But they must have seen the flare. Oh, God. OK, fire another.
Right-o!
There she is!
Now, what sort of ship is that?
Who cares? Just so long as it's a ship! Over here! Over here!
Six, 67, 68, and stand your good space. Otherwise I'll lose count. 69, 70. Anyone half counted twice or not counted?
It was warmer in the life rafts. Why the hell are they keeping us on deck?
Give them time, Mr. Jackson.
370, Captain.
Thank you, Charlie.
They're all in good shape, but there's 2 women beginning to feel the effect of this wind. How much longer do you reckon they're going to keep us stuck here?
Well, if you know any Russian, you can ask this one coming down from the bridge. He looks like the captain.
What do you make of those aerial arrays, Mr. Jackson?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning, sir.
Welcome to my ship.
Yeah.
I am Captain Cameron.
I presume the 4 rings means that you're the captain of the aircraft.
Captain Stephen Everett of Transatlantic Airways. We'd like to thank you for picking us up, Captain. Most grateful.
I am extremely sorry that you have been kept waiting, but my men have been busy arranging your quarters. We had to clear out our entire sea deck to make room for you. That is why we have so much deck cargo.
Have you finished your count, Captain?
Yes, everyone is present. You speak good
Excellent.
English.
Please, keep your passengers as they are in manageable groups. My men will show them to their quarters.
Come on, we'll get you down.
No, one group at a time, please.
Trevor, memorize everything you can about those antennae. You do the same, Mary.
What for?
Just do it.
Captain Everett, would you accompany me to my cabin, please?
And then the wing caught fire. Fumes from the damaged tank, I suppose. Anyway, we were gradually losing what control we had, so we had no choice but to ditch before we reached the weather ship.
Ditch? Is a new word for me.
And a new experience for me outside a simulator.
These documents?
That's load sheet and passenger list. Oh, that's the load sheet.
What does PAX, PAX mean?
That's passengers.
Passengers. 352?
Yes.
3 flight deck crew and 16 stewards and stewardesses.
Yes.
Which makes a total of 371. My men counted 370. They will have to count again.
Well, a stewardess was lost after ditching. It's thought she was pushed out of the exit by panicking passengers.
I see.
You have a motorboat picking up debris.
As soon as everything is cleared up, we will get underway.
I'm surprised you bother.
Life rafts are a navigation hazard, Captain. One could become entangled around the propeller.
I see. I'd be grateful if your men would recover the flight deck voice recorder before we leave. There'll be an inquiry and the recorder will be
That
used.
won't be possible.
Why not?
I am not prepared to risk my men
There
in
is
any
no
sort...
danger of an immediate sinking. God, it's remained afloat while you've been up your mind whether or not to pick us up. It'll stay afloat for another hour.
I picked you up immediately, Captain.
Oh. Then it must have been the Marie Celeste we heard. Yes. Except I didn't know the Marie Celeste had diesel engines.
Believe me, Captain, this ship is more of a reality than the Arctic Vigil, which left her station last week. She is now in Reykjavik.
Then my ocean station vessel information was out of date.
Either that or your story was not properly researched.
What the hell are you suggesting?
It is what my superiors are suggesting. They think that it's extremely odd that a transatlantic flight should be this far north.
Look, I've told you, we were put on the most northerly route, track Victor. I deviated slightly north of track to avoid an area of thunderstorms, and then I flew due north after our fuel loss. Well, if you recover the voice recorder, you'll hear for your...
Captain Everett, whatever it is that you're so anxious to prove to me does not matter. But the suspicions you have aroused most certainly do.
No idea what you're talking about.
This is a peaceful oceanographic survey ship, one of several operated by my country. But your country and the United States always seem to think that we have a military purpose. My superiors naturally have to suspect the worst first. That you were diverted specially to investigate the whereabouts...
All the stupid things I've ever heard. Well, you're crazy. Do you honestly think that an airline, my airline, any airline, would risk nearly 400 people to take a look at a ship?
What risk was there in diverting a few hundred kilometers north, Captain? You have the range. Isn't it so that the DC-10s, the 747s, and Orions can fly Los Angeles to London in one hop?
Yes.
Nearly 1/3 of the way around the world.
Look, we took off from New York with flight plan fuel. Just enough for London with Manchester diversion. 68 tons of fuel, that's half our total capacity. We didn't have the fuel they're messing about. Look, it's all there on the load sheet. Fin tank fuel, wing tank fuel, taxi fuel. Well, add it up if you don't believe me. No airline fills their tanks to the brim if it's not necessary. There's no point in burning fuel to hump fuel about that won't be needed.
It is not a question of me believing you, Captain.
Look, mate, I don't know how you operate, but my government does not use scheduled flights for espionage. They have no control over us.
Really, Captain?
Yes.
Well, that seems at odds with this information I've just received. Last year, your government purchased Transatlantic Airways.
Yes, well, we were in financial trouble.
Socialism to the rescue of capitalism, eh, Captain? Your government have also provided the cash for the Concorde you are taking delivery of next year. Am I correct?
So what?
So it would seem that your government have considerable influence over your company.
There's no point in arguing with you. Despite all this talk of closer friendship these days, you still have all the old suspicions and prejudices.
Not me, Captain. I am a scientist. But I can well understand the feelings of my superiors when I read you the names on your passenger list. You have an American on board, Edward Jackson, the head of international company involved in military electronics.
For heaven's sake.
Plus, Trevor Deacon, managing director of his British company, the sort of man who would know what to look for if this was a certain type of ship.
I think you're mad. I think you're absolutely raving.
Cautious, Captain Everett, which is more than I can say for you. You were the one who risked the life of your passengers, not me. I only hope that the failure of your mission will not lead to an inquiry.
If you choose not to believe a word of what I've told you, that there's nothing I can do. But I'll tell you this much, Captain. As the skipper of an airliner, I was the one who was in charge. Not some commissar in an office thousands of miles away. Now, you may understand the English language, but there's one hell of a lot that you don't know about the English.
The decision to pick you up was mine and mine alone. I was ordered not to.
What? Well, I'm sorry, but... well, you didn't say.
We will both be in trouble, Captain. In 20 hours, you will be transferred to a merchant ship and taken to Iceland.
We've got this entire deck for ourselves, Captain. Now, I suggest that you, Mr. Davies, and Mr. Harmon have this cabin.
Right.
I'm spreading all the passengers and cabin crew between the remaining cabins and the main gallery, and the ship's crew are sending down mattresses.
Fine.
Will we be here long, do you think, sir?
Main gallery? What's that?
Well, it's some sort of hold, I think, sir.
How many in there?
Well, best part of 250. As soon as we've sorted ourselves out, I'll rig up a partition or something from spare blankets.
But they'll freeze in a hold.
Oh, but it's heated, Captain.
A hold?
Oh, yes. How long will we be on this ship, Captain?
Oh, 20 hours, Charlie. Where are Mr. Harmon and Mr. Davies?
Oh, they're helping with the passenger arrangements in the main gallery. Yes, well, it's pretty chaotic in there. I ought to be getting back.
Very long now.
Haven't you got a bigger piece of paper than this?
Oh, will this do?
The first aerial, the one in front of the bridge, was a straightforward centimetric radar dish, right? Like this.
About 6 feet in diameter.
Did you get an idea of its waveguide dimension?
Too far off.
Did anyone?
What's a waveguide?
The second antenna array was the most interesting.
Hey, it feels as if we're getting underway at last.
The dish was pointing straight up.
And my guess is that it's for satellite tracking, either communication or navigation. It seems as if the captain's in one hell of a hurry all of a sudden.
It felt as if we'd hit something.
Rammed is a better word.
I was able to see everything from this porthole. They hoisted the motorboat aboard once it had cleared all the floating debris.
You picked up everything?
Yes, everything. Life rafts, survival beacons, food containers, the lot.
And then they rammed the aircraft.
Yes.
Well, I suppose it could have been a navigation hazard.
Oh, come off it, Jeff. 2 men went aboard. They'd have seen it couldn't have remained afloat for much longer. So why risk damaging his stern gear by ramming?
Well, what were the 2 men after?
I had a guess. The courier bin.
Oh, it was empty according to the load sheet.
I don't think the captain believes the load sheet. Let's move on. Next item, passenger welfare. Charlie?
They're all in good spirits, Captain. The meal was better than any of us expected. Toilets are adequate. There is one problem. Exercise.
I thought they were all too exhausted to worry about that.
There's 1 or 2 who'd like to go on deck.
Well, they can find their own way up. My God, we can't wet nurse
Have
all...
you tried going on deck, Captain?
No, why?
You can't. All the hatches to this deck level are locked. The passenger told me. I didn't believe him at first, so I went round myself. And he was right. Every hatch is sealed. They were only unlocked when the crew came through with the meal trolleys.
Well, I suppose it's reasonable that they don't want hundreds of people wandering all over their ship.
Was there any explanation from the members of crew, Charlie?
They only appeared when the food was brought through. I spoke to them, but they didn't answer. Probably don't understand English.
Either that, or they've been ordered not to speak.
Or both.
One thing has been worrying me since the ramming. Kamarov told me he'd been in touch with the RAF and had told them about the rescue.
So?
We've heard no search aircraft.
Right.
Now, it's possible they're still sweeping the ocean along Track Victor. And we couldn't transmit because static was blocking RHF. But that means if Kamarov is lying and he's told no one about it, search and rescue will think we've disappeared without trace.
Trevor, is Joanna asleep?
Just about.
So's Mary.
I think everyone is.
I've been thinking about this hold, or whatever it is we're in. You're right. It doesn't make sense. Listen.
What?
Air conditioning. Who ever heard of an air-conditioned hold?
Refrigerated ships.
This isn't a meat ship. We've agreed on that. I'm beginning to think that you were right in the first place. Those antenna arrays. The delay in picking us up so they could empty this hold and put the equipment under cover on the deck. It all adds up. I've got friends in the Pentagon who'd give their right arms to be on this ship.
They can have my mattress any day. But they wouldn't learn much shutdown here.
If we're being transferred to a ship at 10 tomorrow, we've less than 12 hours to find out as much as we can.
If we're transferred.
What do you mean?
It's obvious. Put yourself in their position. Would you hand us over?
Well, that's a crazy notion.
Yes. I suppose it is. Just crossed my mind when you were talking.
Skipper. Daylight. Sun came out for a few minutes just now. I was able to get our bearings. We're still heading due north.
What does it matter? Hey, Taff, wake up.
Hey, what's the nationality of this ship that Kamarov is supposed to be meeting?
He didn't say. I forgot to ask him. Does it matter?
No, I was just wondering what merchant ships operate this far north. We must be making 1 degree every 4 hours at this speed.
Yes.
Anyone for tea?
Oh, you lovely girl.
All right, you needn't get excited. I won't make a habit of it.
That's what I call a welcome sight.
Is that tea?
It was sent in on a trolley. A 50-gallon urn, by the look of it.
Oh, no milk, love?
Just lemon.
Oh.
Captain, you'll have to do something about arranging for some of the passengers to go up on deck. You've got a porthole in here, but it's becoming unbearably stuffy in the main gallery.
Well, you tell me how I can get in touch with the captain, and I will ask him.
I gave one of the men who brought the trolley through a letter addressed to the captain. From you.
Oh,
I said that you wanted to see him as soon as possible.
Come in, Captain Everett. You wish to see me?
Yes, I would...
My surgeon tells me that your passengers are all well.
Yes, I would
The
like...
food is satisfactory?
Yes, it's fine.
My cook is in a great turmoil over the additional catering.
Yes, I'm sure. Captain, it would be appreciated if you'd allow passengers on deck for some fresh air.
No, Captain.
Well, naturally, only a few at a time would...
I said no, Captain.
Why not?
The surgeon has advised that they remain in the warm after their ordeal.
They were warm and dry in the life rafts. They're insulated...
The outside air temperature's 15 degrees below freezing. If I were to allow them up from below, they'd catch chills. Unlike you, Captain, I have their well-being at heart.
I'm talking about some able-bodied men and women who'd like to get a breath of fresh air. Well, you could lend them some great coats.
I am sorry, Captain, but it is not only question of the cold. We have a certain amount of high-voltage scientific equipment on deck. It would not be safe to allow anyone up from below.
Captain Kamarov, what exactly is this ship?
I have already told you. An oceanographic survey ship.
Then why is it festooned with complicated aerial systems?
Until our program was interrupted, we were using towed sonar instrument packages to map the ocean floor. The aerials are for tracking satellites to enable us to fix our position to within a few meters. Accurate navigation is essential for oceanographic survey work just as it is for transatlantic flying. The name of this ship is the Novi Mir, which in English means the New World, the world beneath the waves. Now, if you will excuse me, I have work to do. The coxswain will escort you back to your quarters.
Ah, here's another one.
So that makes a line right down this side of the hold.
Which I make 50 paces long.
50 paces. About 150 feet. Hello. This is interesting.
Yeah, I've already seen it. It looks as if this entire floor section is some sort of elevator. You better add it to the sketch.
Curious and curiouser.
Hmm. 12 o'clock. So where's this ship? You can't move that pawn. You'll be putting yourself in check.
I'll have your night, then.
You definitely said 10 o'clock.
Definitely. Your move.
Why didn't you ask him what the ship was?
He's not the friendliest of souls.
Hmm? You said he was quite reasonable.
Well, he's not. Your move, old son.
Right.
It's not locked.
Could, we have a word with you, please, Captain?
Sure. If it's about the non-appearance of the promised ship, I know no more than you.
Do you, trust Kamarov?
Well, I don't particularly like him, but I see no reason why I shouldn't trust him.
He, told you 10 o'clock.
So, something's gone wrong. It happens.
Trevor here and I have been discussing what this ship is. At first, we thought it was one of the spy ships the Soviets maintain in the North Atlantic to monitor naval signals traffic. But we've changed our minds.
Then what is it?
Miss Parsons told us that you were unable to radio your aircraft's position and predicament both before and after the ditching. Is that correct?
Yes, there was a great deal of interference. Static. It's blanked out our radios.
Across all wave bands. The survival beacons and even your radar was affected, right?
Yes.
It all figures, Captain.
What does?
We've made a sketch from memory of the aerial arrays on this ship. You remember that one?
Vaguely. It's a radar antenna.
And this one?
I don't think so.
It looks very much like a directional jammer. Extremely powerful, we think. Powerful enough to jam all your communication systems. But the most interesting of all is this array aft of the bridge. It looks very much like part of a missile guidance system. These dipoles and elements are dummies to disguise its
Come off it. All this is pure guesswork.
Educated guesswork, Captain. My companies make such systems.
Oh, for God's sake. Well, even if this ship is what you think it is, which I doubt, why the hell would it want to jam
Simple. Because it didn't want its presence discovered. If you managed to get a signal out, the captain would have had military aircraft buzzing around his ears before he had a chance to get clear. He was none too happy about picking us up, remember? It must have been quite an embarrassment having us drop in on his lonely spot of ocean.
Yes, that's true. No, the whole thing's too ridiculous to even...
You've heard of the cruise missile, Captain. It's the one thing that's threatening to wreck the latest SALT talks because no one can agree on its limitation. The cruise missile makes conventional intercontinental rockets obsolete. It's a small terrain-hugging delivery system that flies at a height of 50 feet, which makes it impossible to detect. Anti-missile systems are useless against it. It's small because, unlike rockets, it's air-breathing. Doesn't have to carry such a heavy fuel load.
Nor do they need underground silos. They're small enough to be launched from a ship. The Soviets don't have the lead we have with the Poseidon. Therefore, a ship-borne cruise missile would suit their boat nicely.
So this is a cruise missile carrier, so what?
So it's a safe bet that we're not going to be handed over. It's also a safe bet that the captain has been ordered not to report
This
that
is
we've
the
been
era of détente.
It's also the era of a massive Soviet arms buildup.
Can I ask something? The captain has kept us locked up down here. What have we seen that can't be seen from an aircraft that could worry his bosses?
We've seen things close, too. Close enough to recognize the dummy parts of those aerial systems.
It's certain our friends are not going to let news of their latest hardware out. Not until it's operational and can be used as a bargaining chip in the next round of salt.
All right. Now, supposing you're right, there's nothing we can do about it.
Why not? There's nearly 400 of us.
And supposing you're wrong?
We're not wrong. If you want proof, come along to the main gallery. You can see the marks on the floor where computers stood until quite recently.
How do you know there were computers?
The entire gallery is heated and air-conditioned. Only computers and people need such an environment.
I don't know. Well, I suppose I can't stop you, but supposing you are wrong.
Then we can always apologize afterwards. If we're right and do nothing, there won't be an afterwards. It's as simple as that.
I suppose I could have it out with Kamarov and...
You might alert him. At the moment, we have the advantage of surprise.
And his crew have the advantage of guns.
Either you're with us or against us, Captain. By doing nothing, you're risking the lives of 370 people. We'll give you 15 minutes to talk it over with your colleagues.
Bloody hell. And what are you two staring at?
I think they're right. Crazy, but right.
You haven't had much to say for yourself, Taff?
No, it's your decision, Captain.
Oh, no. If a decision's going to be made, then it's going to be all three of us together. I'm not carrying this one alone. No way. On one condition. No one gets hurt.
That's our intention. But there's no guarantee.
There is one small problem. Elaine Parsons might not agree.
Won't she take orders from you?
Oh, not that one. Anyway, I have no right to give orders. All we can do is ask her.
Okay, then. Let's have her in and ask her.
Never. Never, never, never.
Well, at least give us a reason.
I don't have to.
Okay, we'll ask the passengers. Most of them are in favor. I expect there's a woman amongst them who'd be willing.
It's not fair to expect any woman to do it.
We can at least ask them.
Well, it won't work. There's always half a dozen who remain in the companionway while the others push in the trolleys.
Now, believe me, honey, Russian sailors are no different from other sailors the world over. Don't underestimate yourself. If anyone could pull them in, you could.
Oh, God. Well, what do I have to do?
Quiet, everyone, please!
Trolley's at the end of the companionway.
Stand by!
Oh, will you leave me alone?
I was adjusting your bunny tail.
I'll adjust something of yours in a minute, with my knee.
Show us your equity card.
Oh, shut up.
Everyone start singing. Now!
Okay, kid, you're on. Get out there and slay 'em.
Oh, God.
Nobody moves until I give the signal.
6 of them, and 4 outside.
Oh, come on, sweetheart. Put everything you've got into it.
They're interested.
It's working. Come on, lads. You can't see her from there.
Here they come.
Now!
Their guns! Get their guns!
Okay, right.
That's it! Good! Now tie them up! Captain Everett! Yes? There's less guns than we thought. You'll have to manage with one for your engine room squad.
Right!
We're going to need at least 2 on the bridge.
Stravanovich. Stravanovich. 075.
Да, капитан, 075.
He won't answer, Captain. One move or sound from any of you. Over there. Both of you. Place your hands on the chart table.
But why?
Check them for arms, Mr. Davis.
Why are you doing this? Why?
You were supposed to be transferring us to another ship 12 hours ago.
Okay, nothing on them.
There was a change. I'm on my way to rendezvous with a U.S. Coast Guard ship, the Emerson.
You're on your way below, where you've kept us imprisoned for 36 hours. Now move.
You're being extremely stupid. If you check this chart...
I said move.
Gyro compass. Rudder position indicator. These look like INS displays. Find you a couple of fuel gauges and you'll be happy, eh, Taff?
I suppose these are the throttles.
Looks like we're in business. Jeff, leave that communication equipment alone. We'll do as Jackson suggests and maintain radio silence until we're a day steaming from this area. We don't want Russian warships getting a fix on us.
Oh, it'll take me a day to figure this lot out anyway.
What do you make of this chart, Captain? Look, there's an English name marked in pencil. Emerson. See?
The only English name I'm interested in on that chart, old son, is Boston. Let's have a course and 95% power.
Coffee, gentlemen.
Oh, thanks, love. How's everything below?
Captain Kamarov is an extremely angry man. How do you like your new command?
Well, she's a bit on the slow side.
You still have a hankering for a Concorde?
After a ditching.
Well, it wasn't your fault.
It makes me controversial. The last thing they want. I have nightmares about reporters asking such things as, do you think you might have to ditch this aircraft, Captain?
Do you think we've done the right thing? Kamarov was raving that he was due to meet a Coast Guard ship.
You're welcome to bring coffee up here, but not your doubts. We're having trouble with our own.
What's that?
It's a teleprinter. It's been doing that on and off for the past 6 hours. Someone's trying to tell us something. Either that or we're supposed to tell them something.
Same code groups as before, Skipper, with one slight difference. A string of question marks at the end of the message.
Don't you know what it means?
No.
Why not, Captain? You have the code books?
I had them sent down to Kamarov.
And what the hell for?
Firstly, because I'm not a spy, and secondly, because I don't understand Russian.
Those books would be useful.
We are handing the ship back to Kamarov intact with nothing taken.
You're not being realistic, Captain. The Russians would do the same.
I don't care what you think they would do. I'm only concerned with what we do. Those books stay with Kamarov.
Now, you listen to me, Captain. If it wasn't for me... What the hell's that?
We're open to suggestions. What do you think, Taff?
It's above the radar gear.
Well, try that switch.
It seems to be some sort of warning system linked to the radar. Yes, Captain, there's something approaching us. Too small and too fast for a ship. And too slow for an aircraft.
What is it, Captain?
Well, the only Russian helicopter I've ever seen was at the Paris Air Show.
I think it's a Kamov 26.
Eh?
Well, I've got a small boy who's dotty about helicopters. He's bedroom walls.
He's flashing lights at us.
Recognition signal, I suppose. I wonder how far he is from his ship.
He seems to be losing interest.
Yeah, he's probably going off to fetch his mates. Right. They know where we are now, so there's no point in maintaining radio silence. See who you can raise from the ship to ship, Jeff.
This is the Nova Mir, position 63 degrees 10 north, 22 degrees west. We have the passengers and crew of Transatlantic Airways Flight 510 on board. Is anyone receiving me? Over. This is the Nova Mir with the passengers and crew of Transatlantic Airways Flight 510 on board, safe and well. Position is 63 degrees on 0 north.
Well, I've never seen any reason to tell anyone.
Emerson. Do you want
How old
position
is he?
repeat?
7. My mother looks after him when I'm away. The father was an officer then. He's a skipper now.
Emerson.
And does he know?
Oh, yes. But he didn't want to. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. It was a long time ago.
Not all of us are like that.
Yes, I'll tell him.
Perhaps not.
Right.
Elaine?
Yes. Righto.
I was wondering if, when all this is over, if you...
I've contacted someone, the U.S. Coast Guard ship Emerson.
Emerson?
That's the name that's marked on the chart.
What did they say?
That they've been hanging around 66 North for this ship to show up.
Oh, bloody hell.
Our nearest ship is an Icelandic gunboat, which is on her way to pick us up and take us to Reykjavik.
Emerson.
Well, what's the matter? Isn't that good news?
Skipper, it seems we've stirred up a major diplomatic incident. They want us into the ship's lifeboats and our rafts immediately. I think you'd better speak to them.
That's enough in that boat, Charlie. Okay, lower away.
All life rafts inflated and launched, Captain.
Okay, Taff. Start loading your passengers.
Mr. Jackson, I'll have that envelope, please.
What's the matter, Captain?
That envelope, please.
Now, wait a minute. These sketches are...
I know what they are. Will you give them to Captain Kamarov, please? Otherwise, you'll be left behind.
Now, you listen to me, Everett.
I mean it, Mr. Jackson.
Here.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
Are you ready, Skipper?
You better have these guns back, Captain. I'm sorry about what's happened.
I have lost count of the times you've said that. No amount of apologies will change what has happened.
But if only you had said something.
I did. You chose not to believe me.
You didn't tell me.
I was not given the chance.
What will happen to you?
I don't know. What about you?
We're waiting, Skipper.
Well, goodbye, Captain. Everything okay in your boat, Jeff?
Fine, thanks, Skipper.
How long before we're picked up?
2 hours.
I can't see our ship anymore.
She's altered course. That's her. Right over on the horizon.
I can hear jets.
There they are. 2 fighter bombers.
Aren't they on the wrong course to spot us?
Well, they're Aleutians. They're not turning. Doesn't look as if they've seen us.
They've seen the ship, though. They're diving on it.
Air to ground rockets.
Why?
Mr. Jackson knows, don't you, Mr. Jackson?
I never thought that...
Oh, you never thought.
But it's crazy they should do that. Kamarov told them on the radio that we'd handed the ship back.
And how did they know we weren't holding automatic to his head at the time?
Oh, God, look at it burning.
They're murderers, nothing but...
Are they, Mr. Jackson? Are you sure they're not following your philosophy? Act first to be certain. If we're wrong, we can always apologize afterwards. Except this time, there's no one left to apologize to. Kamarov said that he told you he was heading for the Emerson.
Where would you draw the line, Captain, between trusting a stranger and being just plain gullible?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Is there anything you wish to add?
No. That's the whole story.
Okay. I'll get this report typed and let you see it first.
Well, what happens now?
Well, we've taken over this entire hotel. You'll all spend the night here. I've arranged for a flight to London for tomorrow. Sounds like another load of journalists flying in. Reykjavik's now crawling with them. Still, you should have a quiet night. The Icelandic authorities have been very helpful. This hotel is under tight security.
It was good of you to come out.
I was sent.
Can you send a cable to head office for me? To Smithers?
Sure. What do you want me to say?
That I'm resigning.
Well, wouldn't you like to think about it before
I'd like to get my oar in first.
Okay. I'll send it in the morning.
Smithers won't wait till morning to get shot of me.
Yeah, well, you get yourself a good night's sleep first, huh?
Captain Everett? Stephen?
Who is it?
It's me. Elaine.
It's not locked, sweetheart. Come in. Ooh. My mother warned me about girls who visit men's hotel rooms in the night. Now, you try anything and I'll scream.
You're drinking.
Oh, why should I worry about the 8-hour rule? I won't be flying tomorrow, or ever again.
The operations manager asked me to give you this telegram. He thought it might be important.
They beat me to it.
What?
Oh, nothing, my sweet. Nothing.
Something's been worrying me.
That makes two of us.
I know I should feel terrible about what happened, but I don't. It seems that somehow it was all a dream, that it never really happened.
Have you got a mole just above your navel?
How much have you had?
Well, have you?
Well, yes.
Then it happened.
Aren't you going to open your telegram?
Oh, what's the point?
I think I know what's in it. I'm sorry. None of it was your fault. The passengers have got up a petition saying
it doesn't
that
matter now. I've got enough saved to open a model aeroplane shop.
Richard would like that.
Richard?
My little boy.
Are you, by any chance...
I once resolved never to marry a pilot. Too many of my friends have to sit at home while their husbands are off on 16-day trips.
I don't believe it.
Show me. Subject to findings of inquiry into loss of TA 510, you will be required to commence Concorde training upon your return. Smithers. What's the matter?
I don't believe it.
Isn't that what you wanted?
Well, I don't know now, not after what you just said about not marrying a pilot.
Well, look, Steve, you're not going to be away for 16 days at a time skippering a Concorde, are you?
In Jumbo by James Follett, Captain Everett was played by Nigel Lambert, Elaine by Eva Haddon, Harmon by Leslie Heritage and Charlie by Hayden Jones. The stewardess was Deborah Page, Ted, Alan Tilvan, Mary, Jean England and Trevor, John Levitt, with Rosalind Adams as Joanna, Trader Faulkner as Komarov and Clifford Norgate as the operations manager. Jumbo was directed by Graham Gould and was first broadcast as a Saturday night theatre presentation in March 1976.
From Hollywood, Alan Ladd and Veronica Lake in a hard-hitting story of love and murder, The Blue Dahlia. Yes, transcribed by Ampex in Hollywood, the Screen Guild Players, brought to you each Thursday night by Camel Cigarettes. Thursday night, Screen Guild night, when Camel Cigarettes bring you your favorite stars in their greatest motion picture roles. Tonight, it's a thrill-packed, suspenseful murder yarn with the two great stars who made the picture so exciting. The Screen Guild Players are proud to present The Blue Dahlia, starring Veronica Lake and Alan Ladd, with Will Wright and Gerald Moore. I don't know what I expected that night. Coming home suddenly like that after 3 years in the South Pacific. I don't know what I expected. I only know what I found. I walked in on a party. Very loud and very wet. I walked in and my wife was kissing another man.
Johnny, you didn't let me know. I never dreamed. Eddie, I want you to be my husband, Lieutenant Commander Johnny Morrison.
Hello?
Johnny, this is Eddie Howard. He owns that nightclub, the Blue Dahlia. You must have heard about it.
Mister, you got the wrong lipstick on your face. I like it. Well, I don't. Well, that sort of broke up the party, I guess. He got rid of them fast and then came back to me.
I remember I was standing by the table with little Dickie's picture in my hand.
What are you doing with that?
Just looking at Dickie. Why?
Nothing. I need a drink.
Helen, sit down. Let's try to talk it out.
I'd love to. I'm a girl that tries and tries.
Why not begin by putting that glass down?
Maybe I will when I finish this.
You'll put it down now.
Let go my wrist. Take your paws off me.
Okay. Now put that glass down.
Maybe you've learned to like hurting people. Well, I could tell you something about Dickie that would hurt you. A plenty.
What about Dickie? You told me he died of diphtheria. What happened? I said, what happened?
Johnny, it could happen to anybody. I went to a cocktail party. I'd taken Dickie along. We were in a smash up.
Why, you, I ought to...
Take it easy, mister. A little noisy in here, ain't you?
Who are you?
My name is Newell. Most folks call me Dad. I'm paid to keep order in this hotel, and that includes these bungalows. Just doing my duty.
Walking in without knocking?
Those doors of the patio are open. Better close them. It's going to rain.
Okay.
Maybe you'd better close the blinds, too, if you're going to push your wife around. And never use a gun, Sonny. Makes too much noise. Night.
I'd had enough. I couldn't take any more. I tossed the gun on the table, picked up Dickie's picture, and walked out. I walked out into the rain. I didn't know where. I just walked. And then later I was standing on Coringa Path, standing there in the rain and watching the cars race out of Hollywood. And I guess I looked like I needed a lift because suddenly this convertible draws up and the door swings open and somebody says,
Get in. Well, are you going to get in or not? You know, you could get wetter if you lay down in the gutter. Now you're making sense.
I wasn't trying to get wet. And you shouldn't be taking chances with strangers.
Funny. Practically all the people I know were strangers when I met them. I'm going to Malibu. Is that any use to you?
What's at Malibu?
Houses, people. I have friends there.
Any hotel?
There's an inn. Why?
You pick up many people at night like this?
Not many. Only one or two at a time. You're right.
Right.
It wasn't funny.
I'm sorry. Nothing's very funny to me tonight.
I know. Sometimes it all blows up in your face.
What does?
Life. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going.
I thought you were going to Malibu.
I flipped a coin. Heads, I go to Malibu. Tails, I go to Laguna.
What happens if the coin rolls under the Davenport?
We go to Long Beach.
It's not bad.
Oh, you can smile.
Yeah. But I'd have to remember something.
Remember what?
Whatever it is, I'd rather forget.
Hello, Eddie. It's Helen. What? What about Joyce? Just walked out on you, huh? Said she was going up the coast. That puts us in the same boat, I guess. Johnny walked out on me. Yeah, about an hour ago. Eddie, listen, I'm scared. I gotta see you. No, not tomorrow, tonight. You come right over, you hear? That's what I said, and that's what I mean. You'll be over here in 30 minutes. Or else.
Look out, that truck. Pretty good idea to watch where you're driving.
Sorry. I was looking at your bag. Those initials. Wondering what the JM stood for.
You don't have to wonder, I'll tell you.
That's no fun. Let me guess. Jimmy?
Why? You like Jimmy?
I knew a boy named Jimmy once. He had rabbit teeth. That worry you?
No. You sure that coin you flipped came up heads?
Why?
Well, we passed Malibu 20 minutes ago.
That worry you?
No.
This is the little town I was telling you about. That's the inn. Sort of cute. I'd better go in and phone Malibu. They'll think something's happened to me.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm getting out, too.
Why?
This is the end of the line.
Is it?
It has to be. It's a long way back to Malibu.
All it takes is time. What about you?
There's a motel sign up ahead.
And tomorrow?
I'll get a bus to somewhere.
Just anywhere?
As long as it's not back. Well, this is where I'd say thank you if I knew how.
I didn't do it for thanks.
Yes, I guess I know that.
Don't you even say goodnight?
It's not good night. It's goodbye. I don't like to say goodbye.
You don't have to. But it's been nice knowing me, hasn't it? Now it's over. It's just as though you'd never seen me before.
Every guy's seen you before. Somewhere. The trick is to find you. I guess I didn't find you soon enough. So long. The motel was clean and comfortable, not as it mattered. I couldn't have slept much anyway. I checked out in the morning, walked back to the inn to get some breakfast on the bus schedule. I left my raincoat and my bag at the cashier's desk and took a table overlooking the ocean. I was sitting there minding my own breakfast, trying not to think of the night before, and suddenly it jumped up and hit me right in the face.
Good morning. Sleep well? What's the matter? Don't you remember me?
I'm trying to. Say, whatever happened to Malibu?
I guess it's right where we left it. I stay here at the inn.
What?
Do I have to have a reason?
No.
Jimmy, why don't you go back and fix it up before it's too late?
It's already too late. Fix what up?
Whatever it is that sent you on a cruise to nowhere last night. Maybe you'd like me to mind my own business.
Do you think you could?
I could try.
It's my wife.
I had no idea it might be.
And there's nothing to fix up. Even if there was, I wouldn't want to fix it up. How about you?
Me?
You weren't going to Malibu last night. You were just running out on yourself. Same like me.
Maybe you're right. So, where do we go from here?
We don't go anywhere. We said goodbye last night.
Are you sure?
That's the way it has to be.
You will.
I didn't say it was the way I wanted it to be.
But still, you catch the bus up north.
In an hour.
I go back to Malibu. I can't think of anything better.
That's right.
Well, we could go for a walk along the beach first. Tide is out.
Sure. You can go in waiting if you like.
If I run upstairs to change my shoes, will you be here when I get back?
Mm-hmm.
Not like last night?
No. Go ahead. I'll pay my check at the desk.
All right. I'll only be a minute.
You want to take this, miss? Oh, miss.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Trying to get some news on the radio. That awful thing last night. Now, there it is now.
Wilshire Boulevard Hotel. It has not yet been established that she was murdered, but police have been unable to trace her husband, Lieutenant Commander John Morrison.
Huh?
Lately returned from the South Pacific.
Yeah, miss, you want to take this check?
Oh, of course. Thanks.
If I can have my bag now, please.
Yes, sir. Here you are.
Anybody else from Los Angeles? Bus is ready to leave. Anybody else?
Wait for me. I'm going with you.
Camel Cigarettes now present Act Two of The Blue Dahlia, starring Alan Ladd and Veronica Lake with Will Wright and Gerald Moore.
It was 10,000 miles and 100 years to Los Angeles. If that bus had made one more stop than it did, I think I'd have tried to get out and walk. All the way back, I knew what I was going to do. I kept thinking of that house stick, Newell. He might know something. But then when we got in, I ducked into a phone booth and put in a call.
Newell? Yeah, he works here, but not this morning.
Where is he? I've got to talk to him.
He's downtown, mister. He's in conference with the police.
You're sure that's the way it happened, Newell? You saw Harwood go up to the Staines bungalow and ring the bell.
That's right, Captain. No answer, so he went away. Went away where? Well, Lieutenant, there's a side gate to the hotel grounds. He went out through that.
What time was it?
About 7 o'clock. It was raining.
You like to stand out in the rain?
I have to make my rounds, see if anything's okay. That's a house detective's job.
You got a pass key to the bungalows.
Yes, I have, but... Oh, wait a minute, gentlemen. You don't think that I...
Why not? Lots of genial old parties like you commit murders.
That ain't a very nice thing to say, Captain Hendrickson. Mrs. Morrison's lights were on. Her radio was going. Why would I try to get in?
You tell us. She didn't answer when Harwood rang. Didn't that interest you?
Would that be any of my business? Say, Captain, you and Lloyd here got a nice technique. Had me going for a minute. No hard feelings, of course.
That's all, no, for now.
You know, this is a terrible thing for the hotel.
Yeah, kind of tough on the Morrison dame, too. Go on, beat it.
Good afternoon, Mr. Harwood.
Newell, who let you in?
Well, a houseman's used to getting into places. I came in the back door. I thought...
You thought what?
I thought I'd better not be seen. I told the homicide boys a good straight story. Think they're satisfied, but you know those dicks. Tomorrow they might get the figuring I was holding something back.
Were you holding something back?
Well, last night I kind of hung around for a while. I mean, after you rang Mrs. Morrison's bell.
Pretty wet, wasn't
it? Weather don't bother me. I used to be a copper myself. I didn't know you had a key to her bungalow.
How much do they pay you on that job, Newell?
$20 a week and found.
Not very much, is it?
No, it's not suspect.
Be nice if you could make a little more. By coming here.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Mr. Howard. You've got me all wrong. I just thought maybe if I could...
Shut up.
You.
Only got 100 on me here.
Thanks, Mr. Howard. This sure is nice of you.
Did you say you were leaving?
Leaving? Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, I was.
You're going out the back way, of course.
Of course. Maybe next time I'll use the front entrance, huh?
Yeah. Maybe. If there is a next time.
Me? I was running around in circles. I couldn't find Newell, so I went after Harwood. I put in a dozen calls for him that day. Always the same. Mr. Harwood isn't in. It was getting dark when I headed for his place, and I guess I wasn't the only one. Just as I was starting up the stairways into the lobby...
Jimmy.
Huh? What's you? What are you doing here?
Never mind. Get in. Get in, please.
Here we go again?
Do you want to be caught?
How do you know anyone's trying to catch
You had a Navy raincoat in your initials. I read the papers. Jimmy, are you mad at me for trying to help?
The name is Johnny.
All right, Johnny. Johnny's a nice name, too.
But Jimmy didn't have the cops after him.
I think we'd better talk.
Where?
Up in the hill someplace?
Go ahead. It's your car.
I've always liked it up here. Stand and look down at the whole city. Takes a lot of lights to make a city, doesn't it? Johnny, I know you didn't kill your wife.
Do you? How?
Just from knowing you?
You don't know me that well.
Well enough. But you think you have to find out who did kill her, don't you?
Something like that. Maybe you're wondering why I don't leave it to the police.
Have I asked any questions?
You got a tag out for me. If they get me, they won't bust their brains trying to pin it on anyone else. But I'll get him. The guy who killed my wife isn't getting away with it. He just thinks he is.
You mean Eddie Harwood?
I didn't mention any names.
Who else could it be?
I wouldn't know. Would you?
Wasn't he playing around with your wife?
You seem to know a lot of things.
Do I?
Like how to wait for me in front of Harwood's place. You get around. And your timing's good. It was good last night when you picked me up. Or was it? I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't even know your name.
You'll have to trust me, Johnny. I've got something to straighten out, too. You'll have to trust me a lot.
I don't have any time to play games. Suppose you keep your secrets and let me keep mine.
Okay, Johnny. That's the way you want it. Coming back? That's okay, too. Hello. Mr. Harwood, please. Mrs. Harwood calling. Eddie? Yes, it's Joyce. Right. Yes, I just got back from Malibu. Would you like to take me out to dinner? No, I want to go to that place first. I'll have to change. Yes, the Blue Dahlia. About an hour.
It was pretty dark walking down that hill alone. Somewhere along the way, I tripped and fell. Smashed the glass on Dickie's picture in my pocket. Right on the boulevard under a street lamp, I took the picture out of the frame. I don't know what made me turn it over, but I did. There's some writing on the back. Helen's writing, and it said,
Johnny, if anything happens to me, Eddie Howard's real name is Eyre. The New Jersey police would like to know. The charge is murder.
Just a minute. Yeah, make it snappy, Ike. Morrison, close the door. Nice to see you again, Morrison. Am I allowed to ask why? Cut it, Howard. You know why I'm here. I don't. Would you mind if I finish dressing while we talk? In here. I don't like to seem rude, but I have a date in a little while, and What's the matter? Nothing, I just happened to notice that picture on a ring. My wife. She's pretty, isn't she? Yeah, she is pretty. You know, I don't figure you, Morrison. You stand there and look at a pretty girl, and half the cops in L.A. are looking for you. Only half? Well, all I have to do is pick up that phone. Oh, I don't... I guess I'm not that kind of a rat. What kind of a rat I am? You rate yourself a pretty tough boy, don't you? Tough enough to find out who killed my wife. Everybody seems to think you killed her. Not everybody. I think you killed her. Don't be a dope. What reason would I have? Plenty. Take a look at this. A picture? Yeah. This one's pretty, too. See what's written on the back? Turn it over and read it. Mr. Bauer? Bauer. Might have known she'd stash it somewhere. Helen wasn't the kind of a girl that tossed this kind of information away. Should have found that out before you killed her. I didn't kill her. On the level, I didn't kill her, but I think I know who did. You better have proof. I expect to have it within an hour. Somebody's meeting me at the Blue Dahlia. If I figured it right, Where'd that come from? Stop! Hey, you stop! Back door. The alley. Yeah, here, take it easy. Is it bad?
I haven't got a chance. Listen, Morrison. You gotta get over there. The Blue Dahlia. The Blue...
Howard.
Hello, Chief. It's Lloyd. I'm at the Blue Dahlia. Say, that hut yours was right on the beam. We got a regular convention here. Yeah, they both came in. Yeah, okay, I'll wait, but hurry, will you? I'm kind of anxious for school to start.
All right, now let's have it again, just for the record. Why did you come to the Blue Dahlia tonight? Speak up, Noel.
Oh, this is silly, Captain. I told you once. Isn't that enough? We'll decide what's enough. Start talking. Okay. So Mr. Howard told me to come over. He used to hand me a few bucks every now and then, so I keep my mouth shut about him seeing Mrs. Morrison. Mrs. Howard, you'll have to excuse me. Under the circumstances...
That's quite all right. I don't like this any better than you do.
I'm afraid your likes and dislikes don't count at the moment, Mrs. Harwood. You still haven't told us where you were last night.
Captain Hendrickson, you really don't believe I did it.
All I know is you had plenty of reason.
And it was a setup for you. The whole thing was easy.
Easy?
Sure, the gun was there. All you had to do was grab it, jam it up against her hat, and squeeze the trigger. She never even had time to scream, did she?
How should I know I wasn't there?
Then where were you? Why don't you tell us? Because he's trying to cover up for me.
Johnny.
Johnny who? Johnny Morrison. Hello, Morrison. Glad to see you. You're way off the coast. You didn't kill my wife. She was 75 miles up the coast.
Says who?
Says the clerk at the inn where she stayed all night. You can check it any time you want. How do you know all this, Morrison?
He was with me. Got at the inn. Stayed at a motel up the road. I'd given him a lift. Picked him up in the rain. You can check that, too.
We will. Mrs. Harwood, you could have saved us a lot of trouble. Why didn't you tell us this before?
Johnny was trying to find the murderer. He needed time.
Sort of puts us in a hole, I guess, if your story stands up.
No, all we got's Eddie Howard.
Yeah, well, you haven't got him either. He was washed out tonight. Better send somebody to his apartment. All right?
Yeah, I'll put in an answer.
Well, I guess that wraps it up for tonight. You mean we can go?
Yes, but you and Mrs. Harwood better stay in sight till we check your story. After all, it is a coincidence. I mean, her picking you up.
But it was raining.
That's right, Captain. It was. It rained all the time I was making my rounds.
Must have gotten pretty wet, no?
Sure did.
Maybe you should have left your umbrella on the porch instead of letting it drip all over Mrs. Morrison's carpet.
I did leave it on the porch. Well, I mean, that is...
You told us this morning you didn't go in.
Well, yes, I know I did.
What were you after? A little blackmail?
Now, wait a minute. You got me all
Maybe
wrong.
raising the ante because her husband came home.
I resent that, Captain.
What was she going to do? Report you to the management? Or was she going to let Harwood take care of you? Or maybe she was going to blow a hole in you herself. The gun was right there. All you had to do was grab it from her. Even a cheap little squirt like you could do that.
Cheap, huh? Sure. A smile, a pat on the back, and a couple of $30. That's what they thought, her and Harwood both. Well, maybe they found out a little different. Maybe I could be expensive for once, even if I end up in a... No, don't anybody move.
You're crazy, Noel. Put on the gun.
One more or less wouldn't matter now. I'm getting out of here, and I'm going alone. And if anybody wants to... Gentlemen, wait a minute. You've got me... Oh, raw.
Lloyd.
Yeah, Chief. He was backing out with that gun in his
It's
hand.
okay. Better make that ambulance call a double.
Well, here's my card, Tommy.
Yeah, I guess it is.
We seem to be saying goodbye again. I guess it's not so tough this time. Is it?
Look, last night when I made myself walk out on you, remember, I said every guy's seen you before, somewhere.
I remember.
But the trick was to find you.
I remember that, too. Get in.
Thanks.
Lake will return to the microphone in just a moment. Now that we've settled back to comparative calm, here are our stars Alan Ladd and Veronica Lake to accept a final word of thanks for their exciting performances.
Well, Vern, it's always a pleasure to appear with the Screen Guild players. All of us in Hollywood know how much this radio program contributes to the Motion Picture Relief Fund and to its country house and hospital. And we all consider it a privilege to share in that work. Right, Veronica?
Absolutely, Alan. And for more reasons than one. Each week, our sponsors, the makers of Camel cigarettes, send free smokes to servicemen's hospitals. Among other hospitals, free Camels are being sent this week to Veterans Hospital, Amarillo, Texas, U.S. Naval Hospital, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and U.S. Marine Hospital, Savannah, Georgia. Happy smoking, fellows. Your cigarettes are on the way to you now with the compliments of Camels.
The Screen Guild players are directed by Bill Lawrence and transcribed by Ampex. The adaptations are by Harry Cronman. Remember, Thursday night is Screen Guild night. And next week, one of the most hilarious comedies ever brought to the screen. You'll laugh, you'll chuckle, you'll roar with delight. Yes, it's Bachelor Mother, starring Joseph Cotton, Lucille Ball, and Charles Coburn. Don't miss it for anything.
The Blue Dahlia was presented through the courtesy of Paramount Pictures, whose current release is Bride of Vengeance. Alan Ladd will soon be seen in the Paramount production, The Great Gatsby. Veronica Lake will soon be seen in the 20th Century Fox production, Slattery's Hurricane.
One way to make your dreams of a new home, of travel, or of a college education for your children come true is to invest regularly in United States savings bonds. Start saving regularly now by buying United States savings bonds through the payroll savings plan where you work or through the bond-a-month plan where you bank.
For fun and hilarity, don't miss Camel Cigarette's other great show over these same stations. Tomorrow night, the Jimmy Durante Show with Don Amici.
And remember, Thursday night is Screen Guild night. The greatest stars and the greatest stories brought to you by Camel Cigarettes. This is Vern Smith speaking.
Music by Fred Waring follows next on NBC.
Remember, a Hallmark card when you care enough to send the very best. Tonight from Hollywood, the makers of Hallmark greeting cards bring you Edward Arnold in Laura Ingalls Wilder's The Long Winter on the Hallmark Playhouse. Each week, Hallmark will bring you Hollywood's greatest stars in outstanding stories chosen by one of the world's best-known authors, the distinguished novelist, Mr. James Hilton.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is James Hilton. Tonight on our Hallmark Playhouse, we present our dramatization of a story by Laura Ingalls Wilder called The Long Winter. Have you ever stepped from a transcontinental train onto the platform of some railway station when the temperature is 40 below? Even a few minutes of it is something you'll never forget if it's a new experience. But perhaps it isn't. Perhaps you've been living in a place like that this winter. Well, the characters of our story lived in the Dakotas many years ago. Indeed, they were the kind of people who founded the Dakotas, a fine breed. And to play one of them in our leading role tonight, we have chosen a fine actor, Edward Arnold. And now a word about Hallmark cards from Frank Goss before we begin the first act of The Long Winter.
May we remind you once again that for every occasion important to your friends and loved ones, there are Hallmark cards to carry your thoughts across the miles, across the years, or merely across the way. A Hallmark card says what you want to say, just the way you want to say it. And that identifying Hallmark on the back says that you cared enough to send the very best. Now, Hallmark Playhouse presenting The Long Winter, starring Edward Arnold.
As Laura made her way toward the old Buffalo Wallow south of the Ingalls claim shanty, she could hear the cheerful whirring sound of the mowing machine. Pa was cutting the thick and tall blue-stemmed grass for hay. The sky was high and quivering with heat over the shimmering Dakota prairie. In early August, it was hard to believe that wind and snow and ice could ever drive the sun out of the sky, wither the grass, and freeze the pond.
Whoa, Sam, whoa, David, whoa there, whoa.
I brought you a jug of water, Pa.
Sure, thank you, Laura.
Fresh from the well. I pumped it myself.
That's my big girl. That's fine. That just hits the spot. Phew, the sun almost makes you want a bunch of sprouts in your hat to make shade.
I don't see how you stand it, Pa.
Oh, a man works better when he's warmed up, half pint. Well, I better get on the move. Lots of mowing yet to be done before sundown.
Oh, Pa, look. There's a haycock you didn't pick up.
There is? Where?
Over there, in the tall grass.
Oh, by the pond there? That isn't a haycock, child. That's a muskrat house.
It is?
Yeah, let's have a closer look at it, shall we? The horses will stand.
Oh, I'd like to. Gee, it's big, isn't it? Bigger than me.
And bigger around than the two of us could reach. Oh, my, we're going to have a hard winter, Laura.
How do you know, Pa?
Well, the colder the winter will be, the thicker the muskrats build the walls of their houses. You know, I never saw a muskrat's house built heavier than this one.
But, Pa, how can the muskrats know about the winter going to be cold?
Well, I don't know how they know, but they do. God tells them, I suppose.
Then why doesn't God tell us?
Well, because we're not animals, we're humans. And we got to take care of ourselves.
But I thought God takes care of us.
Oh, he does, my dear, he does. He gives us the sunshine and the rain and the land. But we have to clear the land and plow it, and we have to sow the wheat and tend it and harvest it and make it into bread for our use. And other men make other things. They work in shops and in factories. Some plan and invent, some supervise and manage, and all together we have built a great nation here in America. But each of us as an individual can do as he pleases, will it?
Can't muskrats do what they please?
No, my dear. Just look at that muskrat house. Now, muskrats have to build that kind of a house. They always have, and they always will. But folks build all kinds of houses. And if their houses don't keep out the weather, it's their lookout. Man's free and independent.
Oh.
Well, come along now, little half-pint. Come along. Your mother will be wondering what's become of you. And I got to make hay while the sun shines. Lots of hay. We're going to have a long winter.
Wind almost scares you, doesn't it, Ma?
No reason why it should.
Do you think it's gonna snow, Ma?
Well, if it does, it'll be the first time I ever heard of a blizzard in September, Carrie.
Pa said it was going to be a hard winter.
Not winter yet. Take a look at that pie in the oven, Laura.
It's beginning to brown, Ma. Looks good. I've never heard of green pumpkin pie before.
Well, the frost killed most of the pumpkins before they could ripen. And we wouldn't do much if we didn't do things that nobody ever heard of before.
Is Pa going to shoot a wild goose for Sunday dinner, Ma?
Yes, child.
Maybe he won't get a goose. Maybe he'll get some ducks.
Goose or ducks, one or the other. The pond's full of them this time of year.
Pa! Hello, Daddy.
Oh, come over by the stove, Charles. That wind must be raw.
It is. I walked into town. Got your piece of salt pork for Sunday.
Charles, what's the matter?
I don't know, my dear, but there's not a goose nor a duck on the pond. And it seems that every living thing that runs or swims is hidden away somewhere.
Maybe God told them like he did the muskrats. What did God tell the muskrats, Pa?
Never mind now, Carrie, child. Supper's ready and your father's hungry, no doubt.
Caroline, we're moving to town as soon as we can.
Why?
I've got to haul the hay into town first for the horses, the cow, and the heifer. If I hurry, I can haul one more load in before dark.
Oh, goodness, you just came in.
But there's no time to lose, my dear. This house is nothing but a claim shanty. It doesn't keep out the cold. Our store building in town is good and tight and warm, and the stable is, too. And as long as the trains keep running, we'll be a whole lot safer there.
Oh, now, Charles, you're not going to haul a load of hay before supper.
Supper will wait, Caroline, but I'm afraid the weather won't.
Laura, look out the window. Isn't it beautiful? Yes. Yes, it is. Like a cloud almost. Dropping down.
Yes, the snow is beautiful, all right. But just the same, I'm glad it didn't come till we got moved into town. But there's no telling when I can get the rest of the hay hauled in.
Well, let's see now. Your father and I'll have the room at the head of the stairs. You girls can have the front room.
I wish we had a place like this out in McLean.
Well, you could be glad we have it in town, where a train comes every day with coal and supplies.
I don't see what good it is to be in town. We haven't been out of the house hardly in a month.
Now, Laura.
Jiminy goodness. Oh, this is a humdinger. Oh, must be 40 below or better out there.
Pa, your whiskers are all white, so you look like an old man.
No wonder. I had to dig my way into the stable again. The snow's piled up high in the door since noon. Here, Laura, take the pail, will you?
Okay.
I'm afraid there isn't much milk, and what there is froze solid before I could get it in the house.
Well, let's be thankful for the little there is. There'll be less before there's more.
Things don't look too bright, my dear. There's no coal left at the lumber yard. Folks burn so much in this cold weather, and old Eli didn't have much on hand.
What are we going to do, Charles?
Oh, we're lucky, Caroline. Why, because we got lots of hay and we'll burn that.
Burn hay in the cook stove, Pa?
Sure, why not?
How, Pa?
Well, we'll twist the hay into sticks. It's not easy, I can tell you, but it'll help out till the trains get through. Come on, Laura, I'll show you. Well, there isn't a drop of kerosene in town. Loftus hasn't got a bit of meat or flour left in the store. Armando Wilder let me have his last bucket full of wheat, though.
Well, we'll just have to make that do. Laura, Charles, fetch in a couple of handfuls of beans. Still a few left in the barrel. And 5 potatoes. Plenty of them, thank goodness.
All right, Ma.
You know, I wish there was a grist mill in town. You can't just boil the wheat, can you, dear?
Oh, but Charles, we have got a grist mill.
We have?
Sure. Hand me that old coffee grinder. We'll get along until the train gets through.
Oh, my dear. You're wonderful. Yes, we'll get along. Together, I know we will.
Did you find out about the train? Is it coming through tomorrow?
There'll be no train till spring. Not till the warm winds come. Till the Chinook starts blowing.
Charles.
As fast as they clear the track into the Tracy City cut, it fills in again. The crew has given up.
Oh, but they can't do that. Well, we'll starve. Or freeze to death.
Now, Caroline, we've been through harder times than this together. We've always made out. Like you've always said, it takes courage to open up a new country. And faith in the Lord. You should hand me my fiddle.
Here you are, Pa.
Now then, I want you to sing, all of you. Sing like you've never sung before. We want the Lord to know that the Ingalls have courage and faith. The Lord our rock, in him we hide, shelter in the time of storm. Secure wherever may betide, our shelter in the time of storm.
In just a moment, we'll return to the second act of The Long Winter, starring Edward Arnold. Around my house these last few weeks, I've heard a lot of talk about purple. It seems that's one of the big colors of fashion this spring, and all the ladies are planning on a hat of either lilac, orchid, or violet, or maybe all three. Anyway, when I went down to select my Easter cards, knowing that Hallmark cards always reflect the latest fashions, I fully expected to see purple bunnies. So I was really pleased when I found whole counters of beautiful Hallmark Easter cards in every color imaginable. I welcomed the delicate spring sky blues and pinks of the Easter bunny's ears, the creamy whites and waxy greens of the gardenias as you welcome the first sunny day of spring. And I know that when my wife receives the pink and white Easter card I selected for her, it will make her eyes all the brighter under her new purple hat, because the words inside the card say something extra special. And that Hallmark on the back means something, too. To her, just as to your family and friends, that Hallmark on the back of Easter cards, as it does on other cards you send, means you cared enough to send the very best. Now back to James Hilton in the second act of The Long Winter, starring Edward Arnold.
The pioneers who settled our Midwestern prairies were tough. They were determined, and they had faith. Charles Ingalls and his family were of this breed and blood, but even they found the Dakotan winter a challenge. The long winter that seemed as if it would never end.
Here's an extra potato, Charles. They're not big ones, but you must keep up your strength.
But, Caroline, I've already had mine.
Well, is it to save it, then? We don't want it, do we, girls?
Oh, no, thank you, Pa. Truly, I don't want it.
Sure. Well, in that case, well, how's the potato barrel holding out?
Oh, there must be almost a bushel there.
But the wheat's almost all gone, isn't it?
Oh, we'll manage somehow. Already it's the end of January, then February is a short month, and March will be spring. Yeah, there's nothing like pork grease to bring out the flavor in a potato.
I'm afraid that's the last of the salt pork, Charles.
And you know, Caroline, Loftus was telling me he heard there's a settler 18 or 20 miles south or southeast of here raised 300 bushels a week last summer. And he's wintering in his claim shanty.
Oh, Charles, you're not going...
Well, Loftus says he'd buy the wheat if somebody could go after it. He's the only man in town who's got the money to pay for it.
I hope you're not thinking of starting out on such a wild goose chase.
Well, a man might do it. With a couple of days of clear weather and a snowfall to hold up the sled.
No. Oh, no, Charles, no. A blizzard might come up any time. And there are no roads, no marks of any kind.
Well.
Charles, where are you going?
Oh, I'm going over to Loftus' store. The Wilder brothers will probably be there, and maybe some of the others. I won't be long. The blizzard is letting up some. Might be clear tomorrow. Hey, Loftus, are you still willing to put up the money for that settler's wheat?
I said I would, didn't I? Don't know who's to go after it, though.
I will.
What?
Well, there's folks starving in this town, Almanzo.
Now, it's 40 miles. We haven't had more than one clear day at a time since this thing started. You'd be lucky to make it in a day.
Well, you're a storekeeper, Royal. A farmer has to take chances, and I'm a farmer. No telling when this weather will let up and folks in this town have to eat in the meantime.
Ingalls is right, Royal. I'm going with him.
Now, wait a minute, Almond.
Need time. Count out your money, Loftus.
Got it right here. $300. I'll pay up to $1.50 a bushel.
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to pay whatever we can get the wheat for. We appreciate your town spirit, though, Loftus. We'll get as much as we can for as little as we can.
If you can get through. And if you can find a settler. And if he's got the wheat, and if he'll sell.
We'll take that chance. There'll be no charge for hauling. Am I right, Almanzo?
Right. When do we leave, Ingalls?
Just before sunup, as the weather clears.
It's starting to snow again, Ma.
Not the first time it snowed this winter.
But Pa isn't back.
Standing by the window won't bring him back, child. And there's still an hour or so before dark.
What if he doesn't make it, Ma?
Now, girl. You wouldn't want your pa to see you like this, would you? You'll be all right now. I know it.
But you can't even see the stores across the street, Ma. And out on the prairie.
We won't talk about it anymore. Come on, girls. Now, if you'll sit by the stove here, I'll read you some verses. That'll help pass the time till Pa gets back. That's it. Now, smile. Now, then, let's see. Oh, here's one. Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised. In the city of our God, in the mountain of his holiness. When I can read my title clear to mansions in the skies, I'll bid farewell to every fear and wipe my weeping eyes. My light's getting so poor I can't see to read anymore. Potatoes must be about done anyway. Well, we'll set the table, girls. Father will be hungry when he gets back.
He's frozen, I'll bet. Maybe I better get some more hay sticks for the fire. Shall I, Ma?
Yes, as long as you don't have to twist anymore.
Oh, no. Pa twisted a lot of them last night, remember?
Yes.
Ma! Ma, it's Pa! He's back! I can see
over and over. We'll beat you now.
How much wheat did you and Almanzo bring back, Charles?
60 bushels at $1.25 a bushel. Loftus and some of the men are unloading it now. Everybody's anxious to buy it.
Oh, $1.25 a bushel. I guess 2 bushels will be about all we can afford.
Oh, but that'll see us through, though, Caroline. I'll go get it the first thing in the morning. Thanks to Loftus, nobody will have to starve around here now, even if the trains don't come through till next May.
Thanks to you and Almanzo Wilder, too.
Who do you suppose that is?
Well, you stay by the fire there. I'll see. Why, Mr. Fuller.
Evening, Miss Ingalls. Your husband here?
Well, yes, he's just...
What is it, Fuller?
Hello, Ingalls. Did you charge Loftus anything for hauling that wheat? Almanzo Wilder says he didn't.
No, I didn't charge him a cent. Why?
Well, Loftus is charging $3 a bushel for that wheat.
He what?
How much wheat have you got left, Ingalls?
Caroline?
Laura ground up the last of it this morning. Those 2 loaves of bread is all there is.
Come on, Fuller. You get the Wilder boys. We'll have a talk with Loftus right now. Let me handle this. Well, Loftus?
$3 a bushel is what I said. My wheat, isn't it? I paid good, hard money for it.
You paid $1.25 a bushel.
That's my business.
Yeah, we show you whose business it is.
You so much as touch my property, and I'll have the law. That wheat's mine. And I got a right to charge any price I wanted for it.
That's right, Loftus, you have. This is a free country, and every man's got a right to do as he pleases with his own property. But remember, Alonzo, and I didn't charge you a cent for hauling that wheat.
Well, why didn't you? I stood ready to pay any reasonable charge for hauling.
But $3 a bushel? Ingalls and I didn't make that trip to skin a profit off folks that are hungry.
Almanzo's right, Loftus. You know, there's not enough money in the mint to pay for that trip. We didn't make it for you. We made it for my wife and our 2 little girls and for all the other folks in this town who need that wheat to keep alive. Look at it this way, Loftus. We're all in this thing together. We've all got the same purpose. There's lots of land here for everybody. The soil is rich, we know that. But what chance could one man have alone in a Dakota prairie? Against the wind, the snow, the rains, and the drought? Together we can lick it. And we are licking it, Loftus. We're building wealth and strength here. Not for ourselves, but for all America. So that those who come after us will have richer lives, more abundance, greater security. Good heavens, Loftus, you're one of us. You're not a selfish man. You're a free, independent American, living in a great democracy, working in a great cause. Not for yourself alone, but for all men. I can't put it any plainer, Loftus, or more honestly.
You can buy the wheat for just what it cost me, $1.25 a bushel.
Gary? Yes. Listen, I have been. The snow's melting on the roof. Look, it's running down in Paris. What does it mean, Laura? The Chinook is blowing. Come on. Ma, the Chinook is blowing. The Chinook is blowing.
Yes, I know, girls. I know. Spring has come at last.
And breakfast is all ready. You can sit down just the way you are.
In our 90s, Ma?
Sure. Nice and warm.
Well, girls, we beat old winter at last, didn't we? Here it is spring, and none of us lost or starved or frozen.
Just potatoes and bread, Charles. Not much to celebrate out.
Oh, it'll taste different this morning because we know that the trains will be coming through soon. How you ever managed with so little, my dear, I'll never know. You're a real wonder, Carol. And I've got a lot to be thankful for.
I'll bet the muskrats are glad the winter's over, too. Will God tell the muskrats that spring is here, Pa?
Oh, I bet he whispered in their little ears better than a month ago. We thank thee, dear Lord, for all the many blessings received at thy hands, for the land you have given us to work, and for the happiness we enjoy as a family. bless our nation, our home, and our lives, and this food to our use. We ask it in the name of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
James Hilton will return in a moment. I guess it had to happen, but it still came as something of a shock when I answered the phone just before broadcast time. The voice at the other end said, don't you Hallmark folks make a card to send to the income tax man? Well, about the nearest I could come to answering that request with its association to greenbacks was to suggest taking a look at the bright greens decorating the gay Hallmark St. Patrick's Day cards and leave it to the charm of the Irish to cast away the worries and cares of this week in March. You'll find these eye-twinkling Irish cards at the store where you buy Hallmark cards. And while you're there, why not select those Easter cards you want to send? They are lovely. And you can find one that helps you say what you want to say, just the way you want to say it. See these and all the other Hallmark cards when you want to remember your friends or share a smile with them. On special days or any days, a Hallmark card is warmly received. For remember, that Hallmark on the back tells in its own way you cared enough to send the very best. Here again is James Hilton.
Whenever your name appears in the cast, Eddie, the audience can always expect a great performance, and tonight was no exception. Thanks for being with us.
Well, it's always great to appear on the Hallmark Playhouse, Jimmy, and I enjoyed it very much tonight.
And, Eddie, we're all aware of your acting ability, but probably very few of our listeners know that you're a pretty fine cook, too. Haven't you got some cooking hints to pass on to our audience?
Well, as you know, Jimmy, I do like to cook exciting and different dishes, so I always begin with a good recipe. I use the best of ingredients and then see to it that I put in the right thing at the right time. But, wait a minute. That sounds like the recipe the Hallmark folks use when they make their Hallmark cards. The right words at the right time and the whole served in beautiful surroundings. I guess that's a recipe for many of the things that give us pleasure, isn't it, Jimmy?
It surely is. And speaking of pleasures, I think we have a special treat in store for our listeners next Thursday night, Eddie.
On Hallmark Playhouse, that's not unusual, Jimmy. And what have you planned for next week?
Our story will be John Sedge's The Long Love, a very warm portrait of an American marriage and the problems encountered. And for our star, we have that popular young actor, Van Johnson. Our Hallmark Playhouse is every Thursday. Our director-producer is Bill Gay. Our music is conducted by Lynn Murray. And our script tonight was adapted by Axel Grunberg. Until next Thursday, then, this is James Hilton saying good night.
Look for Hallmark cards that are sold only in stores that have been carefully selected to give you expert and friendly service. Remember, Hallmark cards when you care enough to send the very best. Edward Arnold will soon be seen in the Paramount picture Dear Brat. The role of Caroline tonight was played by Lorene Tuttle. Anne Whitfield was Laura. Norma Jean Nilsson was Carrie. Also in our cast were Ted Osborne, Lamont Johnson, Sam Edwards, and Parley Bear. This is Frank Goss saying goodnight to you all until next week at this same time, when Hallmark Playhouse returns to present Van Johnson in John Sedge's The Long Love. And the week following, Margaret Irwin's Elizabeth, Captive Princess, starring Anne Baxter. And in the weeks to follow, Francis Parkinson Kai's Joy Street on the Hallmark Playhouse.
This is KMBC, Kansas City, Missouri.
Whitehall, 1212.
This is Scotland Yard.
For the first
first time in history, Scotland Yard opens its official files to bring you the authentic, true stories of some of its most baffling cases.
These are the true stories, the plain, unvarnished facts, just as they occurred, reenacted for you by an all-British cast. Only the names of the participants have, for obvious reasons, been changed. The stories are presented with the full cooperation of Scotland Yard.
Research on Whitehall 1212 comes from Percy Hoskins, chief crime reporter of the London Daily Express. The stories for radio are written and directed by Willis Cooper. Here is Chief Superintendent John Davidson, custodian of the famous Black Museum of Scotland Yard.
Good afternoon. This exhibit from the files of the Black Museum is labeled 50MR242, which is the file number of the case you are here about. You'll note that it is not a very good wedding ring. That is, it is of intrinsically poor quality. The base metal of which it was made shows through the shabby, worn covering of gold wash with which it was once adorned. Base metal, yes, as base as the purpose for which the ring was purchased for 6 shillings. As false as the promises of the bridegroom who bought it and took it back again after it had served its purpose. I hope you'll pardon my sentimentality. A policeman is generally not entitled to that luxury. I ask you to judge for yourself. Inspector Stephen Rockheed, who was Scotland Yard's principal representative in this case, shares my feelings, I think.
Your feelings seem to have been shared by a great many persons who participated in this case, John. Witness Mr. Justice Brewster and what he didn't say at the trial.
I'm afraid I don't remember, Stephen.
He omitted the phrase, "May the Lord have mercy on your soul," when he sentenced Stanley Brown to death. 50-242 began for me with what, if it happened in a drama for the wireless, would be described as an incredible coincidence. A letter had been passed to my desk. It had been addressed to Criminal Investigation Department, New Scotland Yard. A letter from a man named Crittenden, living at Aston Clinton in Buckinghamshire. The CID receives dozens of letters of its type daily, and it is our generally tiresome duty to read them all. Whilst I was glancing over it, a visitor was announced. Before he sat down, he laid a 3-days-old copy of the Morning Telegraph on my desk.
You're Inspector Rockheed?
Yes.
My name's Ramsey, Norman Ramsey, formerly of Blackpool, now resident in Shepherd's Bush.
Yes.
I've been carrying this paper around for 3 days.
Why?
This article here, sir.
This one?
Here.
Highgate tragedy. Bride drowns in bath.
That's the one.
What about it, Mr. Ramsey?
Well, I've come here because I was a witness to a very similar case 2 years ago.
Where, sir?
In Blackpool, where I formerly lived. A bride drowned in her bath just 2 days after her wedding.
What was her name?
Brown.
I see. Well, Mr. Ramsey, you are to be commended for bringing this to our attention. That was her husband's name, I assume.
Stanley Brown was his name.
What happened to him, do you remember?
I don't know. He went away the day his wife was buried. In rather a hurry, I thought.
Are you making an accusation, Mr. Ramsey?
I must admit I didn't like the fellow.
Are you making an accusation?
I am telling you what I know about an extraordinary coincidence, sir.
Excuse me. Did you know the wife's maiden name?
Oh, I believe it was Crittenden.
Crittenden?
That's right, yes, I'm sure.
Alicia Crittenden.
Oh, you've heard of the case.
Do you remember how the late Mrs. Stanley Brown, the former Alicia Crittenden, was buried, sir?
I most certainly do. It was the most shocking thing I'd ever heard of. She was buried in a common grave.
With 3 other deceased persons in the cheapest part of the graveyard.
How do you know that?
Because I have a letter here in this morning's post from her father, relating the same facts you've just told me, and considerably more besides. You speak of a coincidence, Mr. Ramsey.
Well, this is amazing.
It's more than that, sir. I'm afraid I shall have to ask you a few more questions. We talked for 2 hours. Mr. Ramsey remembered a great many things about the death of the bride and her bath at Blackpool. He remembered a representative of an insurance firm who'd asked him his opinion of Alicia Crittenden Brown as a potential risk for life insurance. He recalled having been asked to witness 2 newly drawn wills, one of the husband and one of the wife, in which each left the other everything. He recalled the circumstances of the fatal bath.
But they had 2 small rooms on the first floor in this house. It was a sort of private lodging house, you see. Extremely charming people owned it, Mr. and Mrs. Ralston. I've heard that they've gone to America. But I remember the circumstances quite well indeed. The bathroom was just above the kitchen where the rest of us were sitting this particular Saturday night.
Do you remember exactly when it was?
Early in March, if I remember correctly. She was upstairs. I remember his saying to her, "Now, mind, don't get the bath too hot. Remember your seizures."
Her what?
Seizures. She had epilepsy, I believe. Well, then it was very quiet on the floor above us, and Clark Brown said he was a bit worried about her and went up. Came back almost at once and said, "Oh, she's all right," or something like that. Sat down and played the piano for a while. Then he went upstairs again, and I heard him calling out that she had drowned. The doctor came, and that was the whole thing.
And you have certain suspicions?
Not enough to go to the police. Before, I mean.
You obviously have now.
Did you notice the name of the husband of the bride who was drowned in the bath at Highgate?
Why, I...
Look at the paper here.
Stanley. J. Stanley.
Stanley Brown's full name was James Stanley Brown.
Well, Mr...
I'm sure you understand, Inspector, that I realize I may be doing the man a dreadful injustice. He may, so far as I know, be the victim of...
Coincidence, eh?
Well, yes, put it that way, if you like. I shall never forgive myself if I stirred up suspicion of an innocent man, but...
You'd recognize him if you saw him?
Of course. Never forget him. Tall, heavy man with a long face like a horse, perfectly bald head, and the most extraordinary eyes I've ever seen. Absolutely dead eyes, like some primordial monster from the slime of an ancient sea.
Are you a poet, Mr. Ramsey?
I'm sorry. He is rather fishy looking. Yes, of course I'd recognize J. Stanley Brown.
Excuse me. Will you put me through to the police at Highgate, please? Right. Ring me when you get them. I should like to ask you to come up to Highgate with me. Could you come this afternoon?
Oh, this afternoon? Well, let me see.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Inspector Rockheed speaking, Scotland Yard. Oh, yes. Hello, is that you, Richard? Oh, I wanted to talk to Chief Inspector Richard Yarber at Highgate. Right. Oh, there you are, Richard. Stephen Rockheed here. Oh, fine, thank you. How are you? The young woman who died in her bath, when was it? The day before yesterday? Right. Mrs. Stanley. I'd like to have a look at her husband, Richard. Where would I find him? I mean, does he live at... What?
What's the matter,
really?
sir?
Can't hear you, old boy. Oh, when? What? Interesting. The same day she was buried, eh?
What, sir? Very sorry.
That's very interesting. How long have they been married? Says recently married in the paper here. 3 days.
It's Brown, I know it. Sorry, sir.
Well, yes, I would rather like to talk with him. I think we'd better pass the word to have him picked up.
Is he gone?
If you please, Mr. Ramsey.
I'm sorry, I'm very sorry.
What's he look like? Half a tick. Where's my pencil?
Here.
Now, go ahead. Tall, about 14 stone. Big chap, isn't he? What kind of extraordinary eyes?
But that's him.
Like an insane what? What? Thin and hatty? You do turn a phrase, Richard. Excuse me. What are you saying?
Bald-headed. Ask him if he's bald-headed.
Yes, bald-headed chap, is he? Oh, curly black hair.
Well, that's not him. It can't be.
Will you please be quiet, Mr. Ramsey?
Well, he was perfectly...
Sorry, Richard. Yes, thanks. Give our people here at the yard the fullest description you have, and thank you very much indeed. No, I'm not sure, but the circumstances of his wife's funeral do interest me. I'm very curious. Thank you.
Is he gone, sir?
He's gone, yes. And where do you suppose his bride is?
Well, you said she was buried.
She is buried in a common grave with 4 other miscellaneous corpses, just like the other bride of 3 days who died in her bath. Mr. J. Stanley of Highgate, who bore certain resemblances to Mr. James Stanley Brown of Blackpool, was not to be found. The attending physician at Highgate, who'd signed the death certificate for the drowned bride, told us that she had visited him the afternoon of the fatal bath. He had given her some powders for what she described as a migraine headache, which was sometimes, she said, so severe that she had fainted from the pain. The powders had not been unsealed when the body was found, although the husband had told him that his bride had complained of a nagging headache immediately before her bath. You certified her death, of course, as from natural causes, I asked the doctor.
I did, sir. I was convinced at the time, and still am, that a sudden twinge of pain caused her to faint. She slipped down in the bath until her head was under water, and she drowned before aid could reach her. She was naturally alone in the bathroom, sir.
Do you recall anything that her husband said at the time, sir?
Well, the man was all but prostrated. He kept repeating that if he'd only insisted she take some of the medicine I had given her, she'd still be alive.
Would she have been?
In effect, I so certified, Inspector.
A post-mortem might...
I saw no need there, nor do I now of a post-mortem. If I may venture an opinion, I think you're being needlessly officious, sir.
I'm sorry, Doctor.
Reply by Mr. Francis Harrington, insurance broker of Highgate, to an inquiry by Inspector Rockheed of Scotland Yard.
No, I did not pay the amount of the insurance to Mr. J. Stanley. Mrs. Stanley was insured in the amount of £1,000 sterling. Yes, he called me early on the following Monday morning with a copy of the death certificate, but, there are certain formalities, with the Home Office, and I was unable to give him a check. Yes, he was very annoyed. No, I did not think it unusual. I found that people are quite unpredictable in matters relating to life insurance. Yes. Yes, he said he would be away for some time. He said he would notify me of his address and I could send the check there. He notified me today, and I've already sent him the company's check for £1,000 sterling. Yes. I think I can give it to you, yes. It's 8 Rotherhithe Crescent, South End. You're quite welcome, sir.
An inquiry at 8 Rotherhithe Crescent, South End, disclosed the fact that this was an accommodation address. Stanley had picked up his check, canceled his arrangements for receiving mail, and gone away from there, leaving no forwarding address. I was having a plate of cold roast beef with John Davidson, the Black Museum man. He was a superintendent then. In the course of our meal, I told him the sequence of events. John finished his roast beef in silence. What do you think, John? I asked.
A little too well done for me, I'm afraid.
What?
I like my roast beef rare. Wasn't that what you were talking about?
You know quite well I wasn't, John.
Say, pass those pickles if you're not going to eat them, will you?
Mm-hmm. Well?
Excellent pickles. Why, if you're asking about the story of the brides in the bath, Stephen...
I am.
Well, I'm forcefully reminded of a biblical quotation. The wicked flee when no man pursueth. That's Proverbs 28, first verse.
We're pursuing this fella.
Yeah, but he doesn't know it. As far as he knows, no man is pursuing him.
Yes, but he...
And he's obviously fleeing. Therefore, he must be wicked. QED.
On the face of things, these two deaths are coincidences, John.
Well, it's quite possible.
We don't even know it's the same man. Bald-headed men don't suddenly grow curly black hair.
Well, sometimes they wear wigs.
Yeah, I thought of that. Have to find him to prove it.
Is there any more beer in that jug? Thank you. No, I don't think you're going about finding him in the right way, Stephen.
Do you have any suggestion, then?
No more of that beer, I suppose. That's a pity. But I think if I were doing it, I'd take my cue from that proverb I just quoted.
Well?
I'd give the wicked something to flee from. He just might flee right into your arms.
Perhaps you'll tell me how to do that one.
Of course. Well, I'd dig up those girls' bodies and let Henry Bernard, the pathologist, have a look at them. Can't say I envy him. One of them's been dead a year or more, hasn't she?
2 years.
Poor Henry. Well, at least he could tell you whether the chap's really wicked or not. If he is, then cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war. And Julius Caesar, Act 3, Scene 1.
After a series of annoying explanations on my part, I succeeded in obtaining the necessary permission to exhume the bodies of Alicia Crittenden Brown at Blackpool and of the late Mrs. J. Stanley at Highgate. Henry Bernard, the long-suffering pathologist, was assigned to perform the postmortems on both bodies. Accordingly, he proceeded first to Blackpool in Lancashire for the first of the examinations. I waited impatiently. 2 days later, I received a telephone call from that well-known watering place. It was, of course, Bernard.
Henry Bernard here, Rocky. Well, I've finished. It's, of course, impossible to say at this late date whether the woman was really a sufferer from epilepsy. I told you that before I came up here. What? No, there's no evidence of any organic disease. No, she wasn't poisoned. No, there's no indication whatever of any wound of any kind on the body. Lacking any other evidence, I can assure you there is none. We must accept the fact that she drowned as a result of an epileptic seizure. No, there can be no more to add.
Excuse me, there's
I am,
somebody at the
however,
door.
conferring this evening with the doctor who signed the death certificate.
Excuse me,
Yes,
sir.
what do you want?
I'm
talking on
the
the...
police station just telephoned you. They waited, but then they said they wouldn't wait any longer. And pleased to give you the message at once, as it is extremely important.
Well, spit it out. What do they want?
It was Inspector Rogan, sir. He said to tell you that there's a lady complaining to them that her husband is threatening to kill her.
Now, look here, Constable. I'm in no mood to be bothered with details that can be handled by... Tell them to do their own work. I'm busy. Of all the... Hello, Bernard. Hello, are you there? Hello. Oh, he's hung up, damn it. Now, look here.
Well, they said you'd be most interested when you hear the lady's name, sir.
Well, what is her name, then?
Mrs. J. Stanley Brown, sir.
I hurried at once to Wardour Street, where Mrs. Marigold Brown, the alleged wife of the vanishing J. Stanley Brown, had come to report the threat in her life. She was a tall, angular woman, singularly unattractive, wearing a shapeless gray tweed coat and a series of large aluminium bracelets which clanked. She sat stiffly in an uncomfortable chair and answered my questions quietly.
Yes. We've been married for 11 years, Stanley and I.
You could, of course, produce your marriage certificate, Mrs. Brown.
I have it at home.
Mr. Brown and you live together?
He's away a great deal. I'm alone for several months at a time.
Where does he go?
His business takes him to various parts of the country.
What is his business, Mrs. Brown?
I'm afraid I don't know.
Does he...
He doesn't give me much money. When he's away, I generally go into service. I'm considered quite a good housemaid.
Do you know what your husband does when he's away from home?
I think he deals in second-hand goods in various places.
Do you hear from him when he's away?
He sends me picture postcards.
From where, for example?
Portsmouth, Bristol, various places, Blackpool.
Where?
Blackpool. That was a long time ago. 2 years. He doesn't tell me his business.
This is the first time he's threatened your life?
I've been a good wife to him all these years.
Would you answer my question, please, Mrs. Brown?
Well, he said things in the heat of the moment. Not threatened me, but he said he wished he was well rid of me.
And this time?
He meant it. I could tell from his face that he meant it. I could tell by the way he shouted. And he laid hands on me, too.
Your eye?
Yes.
What was the occasion for this?
I don't ask Stanley for money very often. But this time I knew he had some money. He'd been drinking when he came back from Eyre.
Highgate, you say?
Yes. When I asked him if I could let me have the £2 for a new dress and coat, he flew into a rage. He'd been drinking, I said. And he flew at me and broke my glasses and threatened my life.
Just what did he say to you, Mrs. Brown?
He said he'd take me and drown me.
Police stations throughout England were advised that Scotland Yard wanted J. Stanley Brown, not merely for questioning, as we would have had to say before his poor shabby wife made her complaint. Now he was wanted for a violation of the Summary Justice Act of 1879, threatening a breach of the King's peace, which is felony. The questioning would come later. Henry Bernard, the pathologist, had left Blackpool and gone to Highgate for the post-mortem on the second bride. I came to the mortuary at his request.
This is my assistant, Miss Littlejohn, Inspector Ruffy.
How do you do, Mr. Littlejohn? Thank you very much.
I found out something, Inspector. Come over here, please. Dead bodies don't bother you, I hope.
Oh, no.
I've brought the last Mrs. Stanley called himself at Highgate, didn't he?
Stanley, yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's nothing at all I could discover on the one at Blackpool. But this one is much more recent, you see. Little more than a week.
Yes. She must have been quite good-looking.
Puzzles me why girls like this will marry such rascals. I understand he's hideous.
So we hear. Well, what did you find to show me?
Well, I'll get to it in a second. First, though, the bride at Blackpool. She didn't have any epilepsy.
I thought you said you couldn't be sure.
I can be sure of one thing. Look, I've had a bathtub brought in here.
Where? Oh, there. Well, what's
now,
that?
Be patient, be patient. This is exactly the same type of bathtub in which the woman at Blackpool was drowned. And by another of those coincidences you're so fond of, also the same as the one at Highgate. I've seen them both. Now I'm going to show you something. Miss Littlejohn.
Yes, sir. Oh, I hope that water isn't cold.
You've had it filled?
Of course. Now, Miss Littlejohn, if you'll take off your clothes.
It's all right, Inspector. I've got a bathing suit under my smock. Oh, no, you didn't think...
Take off your shoes, Miss Littlejohn.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Now get in the tub.
I feel most awfully silly.
You'd feel sillier without your bathing suit. Get in, please.
Yes, sir. Oh, I thought you said this was warm.
Sit down. Now, the first reaction in an epileptic seizure is a sudden stiffening of the muscles, especially of the legs. Miss Littlejohn will now stretch out her legs sharply. Observe. If you please, Miss Littlejohn.
You got this?
Uh-huh.
There you are.
Well, nothing happened.
Of course. An epileptic would merely prop herself against the foot of the tub, her back resting against the slanted end, and her head out of the water, like Miss Littlejohn. She's wedged in there. But if her legs were relaxed... Sorry, Miss Littlejohn.
There you are. Like that.
Now, I'll show you something else. Step around here to the end of the tub.
Now, be careful.
Take off your coat. Doesn't matter if your shirt sleeves get wet.
Well, what are you going to do?
You're going to do it. Reach down in the water.
Now, do be careful.
Take hold of Miss Littlejohn's ankles.
Well,
Go on.
Excuse me, Miss Littlejohn.
Oh, no. Do be careful now.
Lift her feet out of the tub. Hold her feet up. Hold them up. Hold them up.
But her head is underwater now.
Of course, old chap. She's drowning. That's the way the young lady over there on the table was murdered. Oh, I say, drop her feet. She is drowning.
I would not recommend that you try that trick with a friend. It took artificial respiration to revive Miss Littlejohn. And when Bernard showed me marks on the ankles of the drowned bride, marks that fingernails would have just fitted into, well, we measured the tiny scars and photographed them for comparison with the fingers of Stanley Brown, should we ever catch him. It was almost exactly 7 weeks later. I had a telephone call from Mrs. James Stanley Brown, the living one. "Please come to my flat at once," she said. "It's of the highest importance." I went there. Mrs. Brown was quite excited.
I'm so glad you've come, Inspector.
What's happened, Mrs. Brown?
Oh, Inspector, I want to withdraw the charge against my husband. Please say I can withdraw it.
Mrs. Brown,
Please say I may. Oh, please.
I'm afraid I'll have to know more about this, Mrs. Brown, before I can answer
Oh,
that.
it's quite simple. We've made up again.
You've what?
Oh, I know, but, we've decided it was so awfully silly for us to be quarreling, and he's promised.
You've seen your husband?
Yes, he came back to me. And we've had such a long talk. We're going to start over again and...
Whose idea was it?
Why, his, of course. And now I want to cancel a silly charge I laid against him.
It wasn't a silly charge, Mrs. Brown.
So ashamed of myself. I simply must have you drop these charges. They're only a formality anyhow. Oh, we're going to be so happy. Already he's begun to treat me just like a bride, Inspector.
Where is he now, Mrs. Brown?
The dear, great boy.
Where is he, please?
You won't believe it, but he's upstairs right this minute, preparing me an heavenly bath. Just like a bride.
She wept bitterly when I arrested him in the bathroom alongside the inviting full tub, stinking of cheap bath salts for this pathetic last bath. Despite the things he'd done to Marigold Brown, her dreams died hard. But they died when she heard the stories of the other brides who had had their baths. Henry Bernard proved the points he'd made to me and Miss Littlejohn. In the face of it all, Stanley Brown confessed. On that day, Marigold Brown stopped weeping and believing in this black-hearted man. He was found guilty, of course, and sentenced to death. He was guilty of the death of 3 women. On the day he was hanged at Wandsworth, Marigold Brown committed suicide. I think there's some good advice in what Superintendent John Davidson told me.
Give the wicked something to flee from. Sometimes they'll flee right into your arms.
You have heard another in the series Whitehall 1212. Research is from Percy Hoskins of the London Daily Express. Among those heard in today's story of Scotland Yard case number 50MR242 were Harvey Hayes, Winston Ross, Horace Graham, Lester Fletcher, Patricia Courtley, and Beulah Garrick. The stories for radio are written and directed by Willis Cooper. The fight against cancer is your fight. You're personally concerned with its disease, for anyone can develop it. And there is something you can do to protect yourself and your family. First, familiarize yourself with the facts about cancer. Interesting, easy-to-understand literature may be obtained from the local unit of your American Cancer Society. Guard your family and strike back against cancer. Mail a generous contribution to Cancer in care of your local post office. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Lux presents Hollywood. The Lux Radio Theater brings you Dennis Morgan, Al Jolson, and Francis Gifford in Swanee River. Ladies and gentlemen, your guest producer, Mr. Walter Houston.
Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. Without doubt, we Americans are the greatest song-loving nation in the world. Other countries may still lead us in the classics and grand opera, but our melodies have warmed the hearts of marching armies. They've been sung by the lonely campfires from the steppes of Russia to my native Canada. And they've been danced to from the villages of Ireland to the cafes of Brazil. For songs come easily to Americans. And they came easily to Stephen Foster, whose life story is the subject of our play tonight, from the 20th Century Fox hit Swanee River. In our cast is a man who has for years billed as the world's greatest entertainer, Al Jolson, who made the first talking picture ever produced in Hollywood. Co-starred with Mr. Jolson is another gentleman who's carrying on that fine tradition of great musical entertainment, Dennis Morgan, a singer whose acting talent is as admirable as his voice. And finally, because the life of Stephen Foster had its share of female beauty and romance, we have the auburn-hair and blue-eyed Francis Gifford, shortly to be starred in Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's picture, Our Vines Have Tender Grapes. I hardly need say that it's a pleasure for me to be back on this stage after many years of absence. And while I've missed you all, I've been with you every night as part of the Lux audience. And I might add, I've also been loyal to the real producer of this show, Lux Toilet Soap. In my hometown of Running Springs, about 100 miles from here, Lux Toilet Soap is a regular item at the little general store. And I'm pretty sure that all 36 inhabitants of Running Springs are faithful users. And now, here's Act One of Swanee River, starring Dennis Morgan as Stephen Foster, Al Jolson as E.P. Christie, and Francis Gifford as Jane McDowell. This is the story of Stephen Foster, a man who taught America to sing. A man from the North who found immortal inspiration in the South, whose life story is long forgotten, but whose simple words and music endure forever in the hearts of the American people.
My name is E.P. Christie. Some people call me the king of the minstrel shows. I first met Stephen Foster in Pittsburgh when he tried to sell me a song. He had just come back from Kentucky, been visiting there. That's how he came to write the song. You see, one morning, Foster was supposed to take a girl for a boat ride, Jane McDowell. Jane waited at the landing till the boat left, and then she found him sitting in a field, listening to some darky singing.
He done had his calling.
Well, Stephen?
Jane.
Forget about the boat ride?
Boat ride? Oh, of course. Well, come on, let's go.
Can you swim?
Swim?
Well, that's the only way you'll ever reach the boat. Look.
It's gone.
Yes, Stephen.
But that's ridiculous. I just happened to walk over here not more than 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes? Look at your watch.
Why, that's incredible. 10:15. Jane, I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, I should know you by now, Stephen. I said I should know you by now.
Wait a minute. That's singing. I've got it, Jane. I've got it.
You've got what?
Never mind. Just come with me.
Where are we going?
To find a piano.
A piano down here?
There's one in the saloon back at the wharf.
Saloon? Stephen, I can't go to the saloon.
Quick, before I forget. Hurry.
Here come the heathen line. Come on, you. Come on, you.
No, it's no use, Jane. I was so sure I had it.
But what's wrong with your song? I thought it was wonderful.
The ending. I can't end it that way, Jane.
You know, I think the Negroes would end it like this. Like this.
Why, that's right. Jane, how did you know?
I was brought up on darky music.
Darky music. You know, I've always wondered why...
Wondered what?
Why no one's ever taken the trouble to study their melodies. To compose original music in the same simple mood.
Why don't you do it?
Why don't I do it?
Yes.
Yes. Why don't I?
Oh, you could do it, Stephen. You have a wonderful feeling for it.
If I ever do, Jane, you'll have to take the blame for it. You'll be all the songs I'll ever write. Without you, they'd just die.
Then we mustn't let them die.
Jane, darling.
Stephen, what about Father?
I saw him last night.
Well, what did he say?
That I have a sense of humor.
Well, see, he likes you.
He also said that I'd need more than a sense of humor to support a wife. And what he called the almost inevitable consequences.
Oh.
He's right. I can't support a wife writing songs. Jane, I'm going back to Pittsburgh tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
I had a letter from home. My family, well, we've lost quite a lot of money. Strange as it seems, I'll have to go to work.
Oh, how can you joke about such a thing?
I'm not joking. It just seems funny that honest endeavor has finally caught up with me. I've avoided it all my life. And now the very thing that I've avoided is going to be the means of our getting married. Don't you see, darling? I'll get a job, make lots of money, and we'll get married.
You're going into business?
Sure.
What about your songs?
Well, I could still write music on the side, couldn't I?
And you're leaving tomorrow.
Jane, could you wait for me? I'll be back for you, Jane. You know I will.
Oh, I'll wait, Stephen. Only hurry back, darling. Be sure to hurry back.
But it'll only take a minute, Mr. Christie.
I told you no, I'm not buying any songs. How dare you trespass in my dressing room? Withdraw.
Look, Mr. Christie, I'm leaving Pittsburgh. I've got a job in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. They love me in Cincinnati.
I'm trying to tell you I've got a song made to order for you. It could be the best song in your show.
Young man, for 10 years, E.P. Christie has held audiences in the palm of his hand with any song he cared to sing. One song more or less is nothing in my life.
I see. I'm sorry to have bothered you.
Oh, one moment, my young friend. I am perhaps America's most gifted entertainer. But does that give me the right to be completely heartless? No. In short, I will consider your little opus.
Here it is.
Let's see. Why, you lucky young man. E.P. Christie gives you $15 for your song.
$15?
Oh, come now. Let us not be greedy. Nothing to the tune, but I'll take it. Put my name on it. Put in all the Oscar Missoula.
$15, maybe... you pickpocket.
Brother, I'm a patient man. Are you not aware that most songwriters offer me money to present their pitiful endeavors?
Then how do they make a living?
The answer is brief and to the point. They don't.
I'll take the $15.
And here you are. 5, 10, 15.
Thanks.
I shall consider injecting your song in my new routine next week. Now let me see.
I come from Alabama with my banjo on my knee. As I going to Louisiana, my true love for to see. It rained all night the day I left. The weather, it was dry. The sun so hot I froze to death. Susanna, don't you cry. Susanna, don't you cry for me. I come from Alabama with my banjo on my knee. I had a dream the other night when everything was still. I thought I saw Susanna dear a-coming down the hill. The buckwheat cake was in her mouth, the tear was in her eye. I said I was coming from the south. Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me. I come from Alabama with my banjo on my knee. Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me, as I come from Alabama with my banjo on my knee.
In a week's time, that little tune was selling by the thousands. Yes, I had found a bonanza, no Susanna, but I had also lost a songwriter. Foster had given up composing. He'd gone to work for some commission merchants in Cincinnati.
12 bales cotton, Moody & Sons, New York City. 8 Hoghead Tobacco, Colley Brothers, Cincinnati. 200... Oscar!
What?
Do me a favor, whistle something else, will you?
Huh?
Anything else.
Oh, but that's a digger of a song. The band was playing it last night at the Camptown Races.
Camptown Races?
Yeah.
Camptown Races.
What's the matter with you, Steve? Hey, where are you going?
Boarding house.
But if the boss walks in and...
Tell him I've just saved him the trouble of firing.
Supper's ready, Mr. Foster.
No, thanks. Some other time.
You don't eat, you don't sleep, you don't pay your rent. All week long, you glued yourself to this piano until I...
Here. Here's your rent.
Your watch, Mr. Foster? But this is gold. It's worth much more than you owe.
It doesn't matter. Please go.
Yes, but... Better for you, Mr. Foster.
We do not feel that your song is worthy of publication. However, if you care to send us any further material, enclosing return postage fees, of course, we will be willing...
Letter under your door, Mr. Foster.
We wish to repeat, songs like Camptown Races simply do not have popular appeal. We suggest you turn your efforts to work for which you are better qualified. Wishing you every success.
Miss Jane.
I'm here, Uncle Joe.
Did you get the letter, Miss Jane? Mr. Steve's letter?
Yes, I got it.
Well, when's he coming back to Louisville?
He's never coming, Uncle Joe. He thinks he's a failure.
Oh, he'll be back, little missy. Well, as soon as he gets on his feet...
Please, Uncle Joe.
Yes, I'm sorry, Miss Jane. Truly sorry.
Harry? Yeah, Mr. Foster? Here. Give me that much whiskey. I said whiskey, not beer.
For that much whiskey, you gotta have a beer mug. You better take it easy, Mr. Foster.
Oh, sure.
Gentlemen. A toast. E.P. Christie proposed a toast to the fair lady to whom I've dedicated my latest and greatest composition, Susanna.
Wait a minute, Mr. Christie.
Oh, my young friend from Pittsburgh. I've been looking all over for you.
I've been looking for you, you thief.
First I'm a pickpocket and I'm a thief. Now suppose you just sit down
I can't do what I'm going to do sitting down.
Which is, to wit, this.
What's more, I'm not sorry I hit you, and as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Christie, you were a fool to bail me out of jail.
Well, now that you've gotten that off your chest, let me fill your glass.
Thanks. All right. Why'd you do it? Get me out of jail.
To find out why you're so enraged with E.P. Christie.
Because you gave me $15 for a song you knew would make a fortune.
Now, calm down, my boy. I'm about to offer you a job. There's a place for you with Christie's Ethiopian minstrels. You write the ditties, I'll wobble them.
How about another drink?
You shall have a dozen. And Sunday morning, we shall board the steam cars for Chicago. You are now the protege of E.P. Christie.
The circus party's on. The show is started here.
Now tell me, Tambo, you were saying that your wife didn't want to move. What happened?
What happened? Why, that train done hit my poor old wife.
The train hit your wife, and then what happened?
She moved, brother. She moved.
Ladies and gentlemen, we conclude the first part of the entertainment with a brand new song sung by myself and the entire company.
The Camptown ladies sing this song. Doo-dah, doo-dah. The camp that racetrack 5 miles long. Oh, doo-dah day. I come down there with my hat caved in. Doo-dah, doo-dah. I go back home with a pocket full of tin. Oh, doo-dah day. Wind the run all night, wind the run all day. I've got my money on the bobtail nag. Somebody bet on the day. The long-tail filly and the big black horse. Doo-dah, doo-dah. They fly the track and they both cut across. Oh, doo-dah day. The blind horse sticking in a big mud hole. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Can't catch bottom with a 10-foot pole. Oh, doo-dah day. Wind the run all night, wind the run all day. I'll bet my money on the bobtail nag. Somebody bet on the day. Wind the run all night, wind the run all day. I'll bet my money on the bobtail nag. Somebody bet on the
Fine opening, Mr. Christie. Splendid audience.
Chicago always appreciated me, Wilson. I'll be here in my dressing room doing the oleo.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hello, Foster.
Hello.
Well, they seem to like it.
Camptown Races is a hit, Mr. Christie. They're still applauding out there. I wrote it, and I tell you, this one is even better.
Which one?
This.
You've played it for me 50 times, and I tell you it's mush. It's much too slow.
You could go out and do it now. The orchestra knows it. The whole company knows it.
Forget it, my boy. Or even I couldn't make them like that, did he?
Then let me sing it.
Let you sing it? If there's anything I loathe in a man, it's an inflated ego.
Oleo, on stage for the first number of the oleo.
I'll see you later.
Oh, Wilson!
Coming, sir.
Howdy, my man. My yellow silk jacket and the purple breeches.
Yes, sir. You sang Camptown Races magnificently, sir.
To you, perhaps. To the audience. But to me, the true artist is his own severest critic. Frankly, I was colossal.
Yes, sir.
But the strain of introducing a new number...
the bourbon, sir, of course.
Yeah, bourbon. Just a tiny tinsy tumblerful. Wilson, I am weary.
Then lie down, sir.
I shall. Call me in time for my entrance.
What's that, sir?
Rebellion, that's what it is. It's mutiny.
It's Stephen Foster, his new song.
Get out of my way. I'll strangle him the minute he steps off that stage.
Mr. Christie, sir. Mr. Christie.
And the meadows indoors.
They're not walking out, Mr. Christie. The audience loves it.
I tell you, I'll rip him to shreds. They do seem to be enjoying it, don't they?
It's a wonderful song.
Get the double quartet on stage. Tell them to harmonize with him.
And you, sir?
I'll go out and take the melody.
All merry, all happy and bright. By and by, hard times comes a knocking at the door. Then my old Kentucky home, good night. Weep no more, my lady. Oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for the old Kentucky home. For the old Kentucky home. Far away.
Uncle Joe, where are you?
Yes, Missy, here I is.
Oh, look, a letter. It's from Mr. Foster. He's coming here today.
Oh, that's fine, Miss Jane.
Oh, he's a success, Uncle Joe. He's making lots of money, and he wants me to marry him. Now, right away.
Your daddy, Miss Do we know that?
No one knows that. Uncle Joe, get the carriage. We'll go to the station and meet him, just you and I. Well, Uncle Joe,
Yes?
do you think this dress is all right to be married in?
Why, sure, Miss Jane. I was just wondering about my clothes. When your daddy finds out what I'm doing, I just wonder if these old clothes is good enough to get buried in.
Act 2 of Swanee River, starring Al Jolson as E.P. Christie, Dennis Morgan as Stephen Foster, and Frances Gifford as Jane.
Yes, Stephen Foster came back to Louisville. Jane met him, and they ran right off and got married. Only old Uncle Joe knew their secret. He drove them down to the river landing. Their honeymoon was starting with a boat trip to Pittsburgh.
What am I going to do without you, Uncle Joe?
You do fine, Missy.
We'll never forget you, Uncle Joe.
Be sure to tell Father as soon as you get home.
Your poor guy skin me alive, but I don't care as long as you's happy. Oh, here's the steamboat ticket, Mr. Steve.
Thanks.
And the change from the money.
That's for you.
No, Mr. Steve, thank you. But someday maybe you do like you said and rat me or so.
I'll write it, Uncle Joe, I promise.
And promise to take care of my missy.
I will.
Hurry, Uncle Joe. Didn't you hear her blowing?
We'll get down, Miss Jane. Don't you worry.
Oh, it's just perfect here on deck.
There's music inside, darling. People dancing.
I'll let them. Out here, it's like the whole boat is ours.
I'll buy it for you if you like. Someday.
Take a lot of money.
I've got a lot of money. It seems incredible, Jane, but I'm a success. People like my songs.
Oh, they're good songs.
And I feel as if I could keep it up forever, more and more. They're all inside me. I'll be respected. We'll have all the money we want. We'll make that banjo ring till... Ring. Ring. Ring the banjo.
Stephen?
Those are the words I've been searching for. Ring. Ring the banjo. Darling.
Yes?
Just stay here on deck for 10 minutes.
Alone?
I'll be back. I've got the chorus for a new song. I want to jot it down before I forget.
Stephen!
Excuse me. Are you the leader of the orchestra?
Is it something you'd like played?
It's a song I've just finished. If you could play it now, I'd be happy to buy you all a drink.
Well, we'll try.
Mind if I lead them?
Go right ahead. All right, men, keep your eyes on the music.
Yes, sir. We will, sir. Thanks, and please use the banjos. The banjo, I like that good old song. Come again, my true love, oh, where you been so long? Ring, ring the banjo, I like that good old song. Come again, my true love, oh, where you been so long? Ring, ring the banjo, I like that good old song. Come again, my true love, oh, where you been so long? You think we could do it again?
Well, we'd like to, but it's 11 o'clock, and we close the ballroom at...
11 o'clock?
Why, yes.
Excuse me, and thank you very much. Excuse me. Jane. Oh, Jane, darling.
Well, I waited, Stephen. Was it 10 minutes or 10 years?
Someone should hit me on the head and throw me overboard.
We've been married just 3 hours. For 2 hours, I've been alone. It's not a very happy start, is it?
I'd sooner die than hurt you, darling. You know that. Jeannie...
Jeannie? Why did you call me that?
I don't know.
Well, that's what Father used to call me when I was a little girl.
Jeannie. Jeannie with the moonlight in her hair. In her light brown hair. Oh, sweetheart, can you forgive me?
Oh, you know I will. How can I help myself?
From Pittsburgh, Jane and Stephen went to New York. They rented a fine house on Washington Square, and then About 6 months later, I brought my minstrel show to town. They had a reception in my honor. Later in the evening, Stephen said he had a surprise.
Friends, it's a new song. It's really not mine. It's hers, Jane's. I wrote it for Jane.
Jane, is it as good as the others?
I like it best of all, Chris. You see, he wrote it for me.
I dream of a genie with starlight brown hair, born like a viper on the summer air. I see her dripping where the bright streams play, happy as the daisies that dance on her way. Many were the wild notes her merry voice would pour, many were the blithe birds that warbled them o'er. I dream of a genie with the light brown hair, floating like a vapor on the soft summer
You leaving too, Chris?
Yes, it's pretty late. Oh, that song, Steve, Genie with the light brown hair. It's the best thing you've done.
Thanks. But I'm working now on something that's really important. An orchestral suite.
Orchestral suite? That's pretty high-class stuff. You have the training for that sort of thing?
Well, that's a fine thing to say.
You know what I mean, Steve. I'd hate to see a first-class Stephen Foster turn into a 10th-rate Beethoven. Anyway, good luck. Good night, Jane.
Good night, Chris. Stephen.
Oh, just a little nightcap, dear.
Don't you think you've had enough to drink, darling?
More than enough. Jane, this is my last drink until the suite is finished.
Thank you, Stephen. And now I have a surprise for you. Of course, it isn't as wonderful as a suite, but then...
Jane, what is it?
Oh, I don't know, really. It may be a boy, and then it may be a girl.
Jane, you're not joking.
Oh, no, I'm not joking.
Well, why didn't you say something? We've got to get a nurse right away. And you've been on your feet all day long. All night long. Jane, you just got to. A baby.
Poor Stephen. Fathers have such a dreadful time, don't they?
I'll try to be worthy of him, darling. And worthy of you. I'll try harder than ever, Jane. Harder than ever.
That autumn, a couple of days before the baby was due, Stephen's orchestral suite was introduced. The concert hall was filled with top hats and music critics. Jane, of course, couldn't be there. It was just as well. For halfway through the composition, the people started to walk out. I started out, too. I saw Stephen all alone in the last row.
You walking out, too, Chris?
Yes, Steve. I never attend my friend's funeral.
I had such hopes for it, Chris. It would have made Jane so happy.
Oh, come now. Don't take it so hard. Let us go and search for the silver lining.
Leave now?
Why not?
Yes, why not? But I'll go on home. Jane's waiting for me.
Now, one moment. You can't go home looking like Hamlet's ghost. Now, come on, chill up, my boy. We'll have a couple of drinks, and you'll feel a lot better. You'll be home in an hour. My fault as much as Steve's. I don't know what happened, except Steve never did get home that night. And while we were going from bar to bar, Jane was bringing Steve's baby into the world. He had failed her. failed her badly when she needed him most. When he finally faced her, no man, I'm sure, was ever more thoroughly ashamed.
Jane, are you all right?
Yes.
I'll never do anything like that again. I promise.
We have a child now, Stephen. We've got to think of her. I think if you ever do this again, I'd have to leave you.
If I ever do, I'd want you to.
Why don't you go and introduce yourself to your daughter? She's awake in the cradle.
Hello? Jane, she spoke to me.
She did not.
She did. I heard her distinctly. She said, Daddy, you've got circles under your eyes.
Stephen.
Yes?
As soon as I'm able, I'd like to go home.
I see.
The baby and I. And you.
Oh, my darling. My darling.
In Louisville, Jane's father welcomed them with open arms. He was proud of Steve now and delighted with his granddaughter. But the visit was not entirely a happy one. The old darky Uncle Joe was very, very sick.
I was glad you come home, Missy. Mighty glad.
What's the matter, Uncle Joe?
I was tired out, Mr. Steve. Bone tired.
All you need is a good long rest, and you're going to have it.
Yes. The voices talk about it all the time.
Voices, Uncle Joe?
Mr. Steve, that song, you ever write that song for me like you promised?
Well,
Of course he did.
Let me hear how it go, Mr. Steve. Let me hear it.
Tomorrow, Uncle Joe. You're too tired now.
Never too tired for that. Never.
Tomorrow, Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe never heard his song. Stephen Foster wrote it for him that night. But by morning, Uncle Joe had died. I shouldn't say he never heard it. I'm sure he did because they sang it for him. Steve and all the darkies who gathered on his grave to say
days when my heart was young and gay. Gone are my friends from the cotton fields away. Gone from the
With the years, Stephen Foster's success went on and on. It was at its height when the Civil War exploded. He tried to enlist, but the army doctors turned him down. His drinking had affected his heart. He said nothing to Jane, didn't want to worry her. One night, when we're having dinner in a restaurant, the manager paid him a wonderful tribute.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are greatly honored tonight. With us is America's foremost composer, America's troubadour, the incomparable Stephen Foster.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
In honor of Mr. Foster, our orchestra will play a medley of his best-known compositions.
Wait a minute. Who wants to hear Southern song?
Yeah, that's a rebel song. Who do you think we're fighting?
He's right. All Foster writes about is the South. I never want to hear his songs again.
What's the matter with Yankee Doodle?
Stop it. Stop the music, please. Stop it.
You sympathize with the South, don't you, Mr. Foster?
Yes, deeply.
Then you're a filthy traitor.
Excuse me, please.
Stephen, where are you going?
Let him alone, Jane. I think right now he'd rather be alone.
But where's he going?
Don't worry about Steve. I'll take you home and come back for him. Come on now, we better leave. Long after midnight, I found Steve. It was just a matter of touring the saloons. I brought him home. I thought he'd be all right. I didn't know he'd stagger straight for the room of his little girl. All he wanted was to kiss her goodnight, but...
Where's my baby? Gotta kiss my baby goodnight.
Daddy, what's the matter?
Where's my little girl? Here she is. Just kiss her goodnight.
Daddy!
Just kiss her.
Mommy!
No one could really blame Jane for doing what she did. The next day, she said goodbye to Steve. She and his little daughter, Marion, were leaving him.
Will you write to me, Jane? I mean, just to let me know how Marion's getting on?
Of course I will.
Tell your father I'm sorry I made such a mess of things after all.
Stephen, if it were just the two of us...
Oh, what good would it do? I'd only make promises and break them again. I guess there's nothing more to say, Jane, except I love you. I'm losing my whole world.